Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Other Castle.
The Other Castle, I'm Andrea.
And my name is Tom.
And here on The Other Castle, we do the plot, lore, and more behind all your favorite video games.
Which means we're going to take you through the production of the video game all the way up through the entire story itself.
It's fun. If you want to learn more, we have an Instagram. We're at The Other Castle. We have a Discord that's linked wherever you're listening to this. We have an item shop and a Patreon, and that's all also on our website, theothercastlepodcast.com.
That's theothercastlepodcast.com.
Yes, it is.
On our Patreon, we do monthly episodes for just $2 a month during the season and during the off-season.
It's so good.
Also comes with a 7-day free trial.
Yes, and our Patreon members on Discord have been bullying me about this fucking episode.
Well, you did this to yourself.
I did do this to myself, so that's what I get. And that's fine. That's acceptable. I understand that. I accept that. So thank you, and damn.
I mean, this episode was so impactful that it impacted our Power Wash episode.
Again, I've apologized to you off mic, so I guess you'll have a recorded version of this to listen to whenever you need to hear it, but again, I'm fucking sorry.
Okay, good.
I wish you didn't look so smug right now.
Well, good, we're not a video podcast.
So the Power Wash Simulator episode, I really enjoyed that one. I had a great time. I was a little fried in it, but I think you did kind of hear just how fucked up. Someone in the Discord did say I need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Which I know. So does my therapist.
Everybody should.
Everybody should, yeah. But specifically me. And it's going to be because of today's episode. And today we're going over Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Since we set out this entire season, this has been the episode I am looking forward to the absolute most.
That's what our fucking Discord feels too, because it's gotten the most activity in there. And I've been very nervous because, you know, leading up to recording this, it's just been people dropping memes, saying shit I don't understand, and just kind of being like, fuck yeah, let's get into the weird shit. And I'm like, oh no.
How weird is this gonna get?
Yeah, and here's the thing. You and I both kind of walked into this not knowing anything. You still don't know anything. We haven't done the episode. This is early in the episode right now.
I am truly blank.
Okay, but you know you kind of get the gist, right?
I get that it's something that's a little bit fucked up.
Oh no. Chat, he's cooked.
Yeah, I don't really know much else.
So Doki Doki Literature Club is a 2017 visual novel video game that is notoriously one of the most horrifying experiences in modern gaming.
What the fuck, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a dating sim.
Yeah,
Okay.
also correct. The game is equal parts kawaii and catastrophic, and with great power comes great content advisory messages. Minor spoilers, but I do want to drop trigger warnings at the top, and if this isn't for you, that is totally fine. We just did Power Wash Simulator last week. I had a Spider-Man game come out this season. That was fun as fuck.
We got some cozy episodes.
Yeah. In this episode, there will be conversations of depression, abuse, self-harm, and taking one's own life.
Oh, goodness.
Doki Doki Literature Club is a game made almost entirely by one person, Dan Salvato. He's a game creator from New Jersey who's just a few months younger than me, which always feels weird.
Oh, that's wild.
Dan had this idea of creating a parody of a visual novel that played on the romance elements of other visual novel games and dating sims, but with a sinister twist. Dan said that Doki Doki Literature Club was more inspired by other games and experiences than it was by visual novels themselves, but the emotions he felt playing visual novels were what inspired him to make one. I don't think I've ever done a visual novel.
I think the closest I've ever come to one would be Phoenix Wright.
Oh, you love those games.
But those have a lot of, like, gaming elements to it.
Right, there's the whodunit element of it.
There is, yeah, and there's a lot of, like, looking for clues and shit like that.
A visual novel tends to be a lot more straightforward.
I think on our Patreon, the closest you've done was the Sonic Murder Mystery.
My April Fool's Day episode.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with that. That's like a 2-hour game. It's fucking great. Sonic dies. Kind of, not really spoilers.
Yeah.
It's great. On the topic of other games, though, and their inspirations for this game, Doki Doki, Dan was actually one of the top Link players in Super Smash Bros. In the United States at one point, and had gone full pro.
Whoa, damn, okay, that's pretty cool.
Legit nerd cred. Within the Nintendo world, he's also gotten lots of attention for some of his custom Mario Maker levels, one of which is called P is for Pain.
Oh my god, those levels are sometimes so insane. I'm like, I don't have the patience to learn to play at that level.
Oh yeah, I get stressed out just watching them.
Right.
That's not the kind of gamer I am.
Not at all.
I'm not a hundo percenter. Maybe I'm lazy. I'm not a precision by pixel kind of person. I'm like, oh, but like, how do you guys feel about stuff?
Right.
Also, is it fucked up and can I shoot someone in the dick? That's all I want in a video game. That's my perfect experience. So this kind of hits a couple of those points, but I don't get to shoot anyone in the dick, so spoilers for that.
It's like the one thing that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Dan, on the other hand, loves these hyper-specific, like, super difficult games, and his creation of some of the most particularly notorious levels in Mario Maker put him at the forefront of the fandom. He's still somewhat active in the speedrunning community and has posted some of his videos on Reddit, like, under his name.
Wow, that's amazing. But it's funny that, like, somebody that's that skilled made a visual novel.
Truly pixel perfect in one area, and then, like, oh, do you like this girl or that girl? Do you like short hair girl or long hair girl?
Ooh, I'm excited for this.
Outside of games, Dan has self-described as a bit of a shy and sometimes lonely guy, and is quite open about who he was when he was younger and how he's grown. He said, I was lonely, self-centered, arrogant, and didn't understand how to truly consider the feelings of others around me. I finally started to turn around a bit my senior year, but it took me a good few years after that to just chill out and learn to respect and appreciate everyone. I'm extremely glad those years are so far behind me now.
Honestly, sometimes empathy has to be learned.
Yes, it's a trait you're not always born with, and that's a hard lesson.
Yeah, definitely.
In particular, Dan's done the work exploring how he approaches relationships and how he relates to others, noting that when I was younger, I saw that sort of thing happen now and then, where one person would become very attached while the other person needed more space than they were being given. I was guilty of doing that as well, though in my case, it was that I struggled to understand that others' needs were different from my own.
You need to have an external perspective of yourself sometimes.
Absolutely. And I feel like I've known a lot of guys like this, not to necessarily make it a gendered issue, but maybe it's just the people I've met where I'm like, yo, you need to chill.
Yeah, I don't think gender, because, like, I've met people from across the spectrum, honestly, that are just awful at that.
Equally.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's just such a core value of growing up and realizing you're not the center of the universe and that your wants and needs are not the end-all be-all of anyone else's except for your own.
Right.
And I'm happy for him. And through Dan's journey of self-discovery, and in particular, how it relates to fiction and creation, he said, I just want a Doki Doki Literature Club to provoke introspection, I think, rather than to make a definitive statement. I was hoping that it would help people evaluate what their relationship with fiction means to them and gain more respect for the things that bring joy and meaning to others. He's so introspective. I love it.
No, he gets really internal, you can tell. He's a stoner.
You just read him for like,
Yep.
nah, this kid is stoned. He's answering. A lot of these answers I'm getting are from his Reddit AMAs, which are, he's very open and he's actually quite accessible, it seems, to people who want to discuss his content with him and his journey. So it's been really, this is actually pretty much dripping and Dan, which is fantastic. Dan's also said that he hopes to inspire the player to strive toward being a better person, doing the small things they know are in their power to make a difference. In particular, he also specifically says, it's when we're emotionally charged that we become inspired to do something for ourselves or for others. All right, so he's trying to fire some people up and get some people on the right track.
All right, let's go for it.
I think this sentiment really strongly encapsulates the balance of Doki Doki Literature Club, the absolute grueling darkness within the framework of optimism and the opportunity to do better. Because again, this is a fucking horror game. Now, specifically, it's a horror anime game. And Dan's fandom of anime built the framework of Doki Doki Literature Club, especially the value of, quote, cute girls doing cute things, end quote.
Yeah, that's about all that I saw of it, you know? I was just like, I think that's why I wrote it off.
You're like, I don't fucking get it. It's cute girls. Okay, do they shoot things? No, I don't get it.
Basically that, yeah.
Yeah. Same. But with the cute girls, Dan wanted to take it a bit further, making sure the characters in the game felt like real people, with echoes of the real people we all know within them. Dan started with some standard archetypes of anime girls, particularly Japanese schoolgirls, for the cast in Doki Doki. Then he injected them with the balance of real-world relationships he's had with people in his life to make their personalities blossom. Dan wrote the game's dialogue to feel like something was written in a different language and then translated back to English.
He did that on purpose?
He did. So, you know, and obviously that's something that happens in manga and anime quite a bit to really match the aesthetic and the genre that he's working within.
Oh, I love that.
Atmospherically, the music was largely inspired by Nintendo music, naturally, with a big nod to the scores from Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay.
Dan put the music together himself, with most of the score being done with piano. He'd been studying piano for a while. Dan actually got a personal email from Jason Hayes, the composer of World of Warcraft, who really enjoyed the game and the music.
Wow.
That's
honestly,
fucking...
literally wow, but
Oh, damn.
I didn't mean that, but still, like, the music from World of Warcraft is fantastic and epic.
Really?
Yeah, no, like that's a really shit. That's cool.
Did we talk about that in the World of Warcraft episode?
Not too much, honestly. We didn't, but it should have been talked about because the music in that game is fantastic.
Nice. So Dan's obviously a very talented game maker, writer, and composer, but he's admitted that artistry is not his strong suit.
How?
He seems to have every other thing nailed, right?
Yeah, he really seems to like just be a Renaissance man, honestly.
And he's introspective and in touch with his feelings. Like,
yeah.
This dude's awesome. While working on the game, he initially used a free anime girl creator tool on the internet as placeholders to start ideating exactly what the characters would look like. He reached out to his friend from college, Dave, who could draw, and Dave did the first outline sketches of the Doki Doki girlies. After Dave laid down the original designs, Dan worked with an artist named Kagafume to flesh everything out. Kagafume worked on the project for a few months before moving on. Then they were replaced with an artist named Satchley, who worked on the game for over a year.
Satchley.
Satchley hit the ground running and did a massive chunk of the artwork for this game.
That's a really cool name, though.
Oh, I know, right? But outside of the art, Dan built a majority of the game alone. And he said, as someone with ADHD, task management and habits are a never-ending struggle.
Oh.
And there's no magical solution that turns me into a fully functioning person. But the biggest roadblock I see people have with game development is that there's just so much to learn and build that it quickly becomes overwhelming, and you never get to feel like you're actually making real progress on the game. What helped me the most was understanding scope. A project where I can realistically see the finish line is one that will keep me motivated. I have to assess my own skills, time, budget, everything, and decide what projects to really dive into, and which ones are better left for the future.
You said this guy was a speedrunner?
When he's focused, he's focused. He's also talked about using the bullet journal method for task management to manage his ADHD. I love also just when people are super real about like, hey, here's how my brain works and here's what I have to do to kind of make it up to the gap of neurodivergence to get across the finish line. I think that's really cool.
Here's how I learned to turn it into a superpower.
Yeah, very much so. All this love and work and focus did pay off when Doki Doki Literature Club came out on PC on September 22nd, 2017. It originally launched essentially free on a pay-what-you-want model. Dan made the game free because he was concerned people would be upset that they'd go to download a cute visual novel and be thrown off by a horror game. He didn't want people to feel bamboozled and figured if the game was free, they wouldn't be upset. So essentially, this game was free out of guilt.
Oh my gosh, but that's amazing to just give this away.
Be like, fuck it. If you want to give me money, that's fine. I don't care.
Donations, please.
Yeah. In the first 4 months of its release, it had been downloaded over 2 million times.
Holy shit.
It caught fire when major streamers played it, and it even sparked some fan mods that Dan has been very gracious about. He said he doesn't play them, but he appreciates that they exist.
I imagine there's less clothing in those versions.
Oh, yeah, you can find full lewd versions of this. I joined the Reddit for research, and I regret it.
Oh.
It was also named IGN's 2017 People's Choice Game, and has made several Best of Horror game lists. Unfortunately, the game's popularity was cited as a factor in the unfortunate death of a fan in 2018.
Oh.
A 15-year-old fan in England took their own life, and the parents claimed that the game played a factor in the loss of their child.
How?
The parent claimed that the characters could text their child prior to the child's death, which is an extremely false claim that's not even an element of the core game.
Okay.
So, to be clear, that does not happen here. I have not gotten texts from these NPCs or anything.
It feels like an urban legend almost, but somebody actually died.
Yeah, it's giving Slender Man, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a whisper in the crowd or something. It's creepy. And this unfortunate incident did bring negative light to the title rather than attention to medical health resources that could prevent loss of life like this to ever happen again. It's just so wild that this indie as fuck visual novel was such a big part of pop culture. Because, well, also, visual novel games are way more on the niche end of gaming. Dan acknowledges that and has said, in a way, I designed Doki Doki Literature Club to be an introduction to visual novels because part of my target audience was non-visual novel players with whom I wanted to share the emotional power that interactive fiction has to offer. That's why the game is free, and why it kind of invites people to make fun of it or, not take it seriously.
Made it super accessible for anybody.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, it's free. Let me check this out. I've heard it's crazy.
Holy shit, what was that?
Yeah, exactly that. Since the game came out and blew up, Dan has said his life changed quite a bit. He said, I had to learn to redefine my measure of success.
Mhm.
Up to 2017, I was spending my free time working on whatever brought me the most joy. Then, after Doki Doki Literature Club, every day was instead full of new things to feel anxious and stressed about.
Oh, poor guy.
And I had to spend all my energy doing things that didn't bring me joy at all.
Oh.
It was a hard lesson to learn, and I wanted to share it with others because we're not often encouraged to ask ourselves how we measure success and why we strive for it.
Poor guy.
I know, but like, what an advocate for mental health and balance and making sure you're doing what brings you joy. Like, this kid goes to therapy.
Just the horror of success sometimes.
Yeah. And to your point, this game is on several best of horror games of all time lists.
Wow.
So keep that in your fucking hat. Since the free release on PC, Dan's brought the game to consoles, but wanted to ensure there was plenty of value with the change. He felt like since they were actually taking a game that was free and moving it to a paid model, they would have to really come correct to deliver massive value for those paying for the title. This was the impetus for Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, an upgraded version that had additional side stories and much deeper lore.
Oh, wow.
Dan has described the additional stories as wholesome.
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 I thought this was a horror game.
One of the best horror games of all time, according to several reporters.
These are wholesome updates.
As of January 2025, Doki Doki Literature Club has surpassed a player count of over 30 million people.
What the shit? That's way too many.
And it also now includes me.
I mean, yeah, it was free, but still, there's a lot of paid ones too, I imagine.
Yeah, we have it on PlayStation 5, so.
Oh, God, we paid money for this.
I did exchange money for this good and/or service. I just played the base game for what it's worth, so we're not getting into Plus today. I had not played this prior to playing for the episode, and while I had heard this was a fucked up horror game, I did not know the exact beats of the game. So this is going to be really fucked up. And when playing this for the show, I was taking live notes, building my own diary of my experience playing the game completely blind. There are some changes that can be made based on your playthrough, based on how many times you've played through, all sorts of stuff. And for what it's worth, my dumbass did this in one sitting.
Well, I mean, yes, but did you just say, like, you can play through it different times and it'll change?
I said what I said.
So are you going to time? Okay, let's just go.
I played this once in one sitting and I regret it because that was not a good idea for my mental health.
No, you were home alone for that one, too.
Yeah, you came home from work and like, are you okay? And I just said, nah.
No, you were in the fetal position.
Please cuddle me. I need comfort. So what follows is my honest live reaction, my decisions based on who I am and who I connected with, my mistakes, and the fucked up shit I felt, experienced, and saw while playing this. So let's get fucked up.
Oh, so it's very personal.
Oh yeah. This is Doki Doki Literature Club. The game opens with a statement saying that all the characters in this game are over the age of 18.
Very explicitly state that.
Yeah. Then has a trigger warning saying that the game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. The opening music is a lovely upbeat song. We see the studio logos. The loading screen features 4 girls in schoolgirl uniforms. I plugged in my name and started a new save file. I'm a student living in a city and I'm on my way to school. I see an annoying girl running toward me from a distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. This is Sayori, my neighbor and my good friend since we were children. We used to walk to school together, but in high school she would often oversleep more and more, so we just don't walk to school together as much. She's the kind of friend you wouldn't make now, but you're kind of locked in because you were children in close proximity together and you can't really shake her anymore.
Oh, I've had those friends.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Sayori catches up to me and she's anxious about sleeping in, but made it happen and caught up today. She asks me if I'm going to join a school club, and I tell her I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. Sayori whines and says, I did say I'd join a club this year, which I don't fucking remember saying, and I figured just because I was absentmindedly being like, yeah, sure, bitch, while she was yapping, and I hate when people do that.
You probably just said it to get her to shut up.
Fully. And she says she's really concerned with my ability to socialize in college, which, like, bitch, I'm fine. I can wake up in time. Can you? The school day passes, and after class, Sayori jumps me asking about clubs. She's like, hey, you could join my club, and I say, absolutely not.
Especially your club.
Sayori is the vice president of the Literature Club. Not that it's apparent she has any interest in literature at all. I tell her I'm joining the anime club, which I'm not going to do that. And she gets flustered because she already told her club she was bringing in a new member today. Another girl is even making cupcakes to celebrate the new member.
Oh my god, you lied.
Fully, and I tell her not to make promises she can't keep, and I can't decide if she's an airhead or if she's just a conniving genius. Eventually, I tell her I'll go, but I'm only going for a cupcake. And I think, and thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake.
Oh, but I hope it's a good cupcake at least.
I go with Sayori upstairs to another classroom where she introduces me as a new member. There are 3 other girls here who are surprised that Sayori brought a boy. And I'm surprised too because I've got these massive milkers and a jiggly girl ass. But okay, Dan, I'll play your little game.
Fine.
Horny heterosexual boy me is very excited that all these cute girls are over the age of 18 and here to read books. 30-something bisexual cis woman me thinks they're all way too young, but that's the game we play. This is a horror game after all. One is Natsuki. She has short pink hair and is a little bratty. She's the one who made cupcakes today. She's 4'11" and has that Napoleon complex where she plays like she's hard as fuck to make up for being small in stature.
I really like that.
Dan Salvato has said that her merch sells the best out of all the girls. There's a girl with long, dark purple hair named Yuri, and Sayori introduces her as the smart one. She's much more low energy compared to Natsuki and Sayori and seems incredibly introverted.
I like that.
I like her the most so far. And then there's Monica. Monica has long reddish hair pulled into a high ponytail with striking green eyes. She's incredibly popular, she's smart, she's beautiful, and she's athletic. She's the kind of girl everyone adores because she just seems effortless at everything she does. She smiles at me, and I blush a bit because it's actually quite flattering to have her attention. Not that I would ever give a shit what an 18-year-old has to say about me in real life. But again, horny hetero boy me loves this.
This is ideal.
Natsuki reveals her cupcakes and everyone dives in. I compliment them and thank her, which is the polite thing to do. And Natsuki snaps back, well, I didn't make them for you.
I thought they were specifically for the new person.
Yeah, she technically did in honor of the new member, which is technically me, you asshole. There's no one else here that's new. She's being fucking weird, and you know what? I just give up. Yuri makes some tea for the group, and Monica says Yuri's just trying to impress me with her tea. Yuri gets flustered and embarrassed, and I'm just like, damn it, all right, I want to protect you. Monica asks why I joined, and I'm frankly too embarrassed to tell her it's because some weird-ass Sayori dragged me here, so I say, well, I hadn't joined a club yet, and Sayori seemed to really enjoy this one. Monica assures me I'll be right at home. She says, as president of the Literature Club, it's her duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica says she doesn't like the politics of the other bigger clubs and was happy to start her own. The other girls are also very happy she's here and agree that Monica is a great leader. Yuri asks what I like to read, and frankly in this world, I'm not a big reader, so I just say, manga. In real life to date, I read 18 books between January to March of 2025, so eat shit.
You are definitely a reader.
I'm such a reader. Yuri says she really likes fantasy novels, and this is the first time she actually starts to come out of her shell. She loves her escapist literature, and she says she started a horror novel lately. Originally, the line here was that she's been reading a lot of Stephen King lately, but Dan Salvato changed it right before launch. Monica's surprised at hearing that Yuri loves horror because Yuri's so gentle. Natsuki complains that she hates horror because she just fucking hates everything. Monica says, yeah, Natsuki usually writes about cute things. Monica reveals she found a poem that Natsuki was working on and found out about her cute bias. Sayori laughs about this bratty bitch Natsuki secretly loving baking and poems and generally cutesy shit. Sayori gets up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders, and Natsuki yells, I'm not cute! I hate her.
Oh, I love it.
Sayori is like, oh shit, and she backs off after hearing her scream about not being cute. I ask if she'd ever share her poems because frankly, I just have to make conversation because this is awkward. And she says, no, absolutely not. You wouldn't like them. Yuri says she understands and then says, you know, the truest form of writing is writing to oneself. She's introspective and she's sweet. I like her a lot. I like Yuri. Monica asks Yuri if she writes, and Yuri gets embarrassed and clams up. Sayori, who cannot read a situation gun to her head to save her life, just says, "Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems." I so hate a bitch who can't read a room and understand that when someone is embarrassed or uncomfortable, you need to stop pressing.
Fully.
Monica takes the lead and tells everyone to just go home and write a poem, and then at the next club meeting, the group will share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Sayori is dumb and excited, thinking this is going to be great. Monica adds that with the new member, me, it'll help everyone get comfortable and strengthen the bond between us as club members. I think Yuri and I share the sentiment that being vulnerable around others sounds fucking awful, but we're going to do it for the club. The club that I'm actually not technically a part of right now.
I feel like, honestly, though, high school is when they do love being vulnerable around each other.
Because you're just emotions and hormones. Like,
yeah.
Ugh. I remind the group, I didn't say I would join the club. Sayori convinced me to stop by, but I didn't make a definitive decision. All 4 girls look really sad when I remind them that I'm not actually in the club. My character thinks they're all so cute and I can't say no to them. I could in real life, but again, the player is not the protagonist here. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club, I tell them. There are truly dumber ways to win someone over, and maybe you get a tattoo with a quote from a cult classic movie, from a canceled TV show on your chest to impress someone, and maybe sometimes you join a poetry group.
Who did that?
You know what? We all do weird shit to see some ass sometimes, okay, Tom?
At least it was for me.
Shut up. The girly pops all light up, and Sayori says she's so happy. She hugs me and jumps, and Yuri says she was scared for a moment. Natsuki says, if you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed.
I mean, I'm kind of just here for the cupcakes.
I've done dumber shit for cupcakes. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. Monica concludes today's club meeting and reminds us all to write poems. She says she looks forward to seeing how I express myself. Since the meeting is over, Sayori asks if I want to walk home together. I figure sure, might as well. I can't come up with a better excuse. We walk home, and all I can think about is spending every day after school with the cuties. This part of the game begins with picking words to use in my poem that I think my favorite club member will like. Right now, my favorite club member, like I've said, is Yuri. I'm always just a little soft on someone who's a little sad because, frankly, I can fix her. I start with the words tenacious, unrestrained, strawberry, forgive, meager, starscape, vanilla, and a few more. Some of these words actually align with Sayori or Natsuki, but that's okay. I know who I'm playing for. When I'm writing poems, there's these little chibi stickers of each of the girls that bounce up and down when I pick out a word that they would like. There's some cutesy words that Natsuki likes because her whole deal is being like mean but liking cute shit. And there's some silly, cozy, ditzy words that Sayori likes because she's an airhead who's just here to hang out and have a good time. The next day at Literature Club, Yuri thanks me for keeping my promise and coming in. Natsuki tells Yuri not to cut me any slack. Monica snaps at her, saying, Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Ooh.
This shuts Natsuki up, and she stammers out, manga is literature! And then she sits down. Sayori tries to tell the group that I'm cool and to like me. Yuri blushes a bit, noting how close me and Sayori must be. But it's okay, Yuri, I'm here for you, sad girl. Sayori tells me that Yuri actually brought me something, and Yuri gets embarrassed getting called out. I calm her down and I'm like, oh my god, you didn't have to. I wasn't expecting anything. Yuri says she didn't want me to feel left out, so she brought me a book she thought I'd enjoy. That's actually really sweet and thoughtful, so I thank her for it. She tells me she looks forward to hearing what I think about it. Natsuki starts reading in a corner. Monica and Sayori start yapping, so I look over at Yuri, who looks like she's starting to read the same book she gave me. We make eye contact and she buries herself deeper in her book. I ask her, wait, how'd you end up with 2 copies of the same book? And she tells me, oh, I accidentally bought it twice at the bookstore, which is obviously a lie.
Accidentally bought it twice. Shut up.
She hypes up the book saying it's a great read and she's read it before. It's called Portrait of Markov. It's about a girl who moves in with her sister and then starts getting chased by people who escaped from a human experiment prison.
Whoa, that's a twist.
Oh, yeah. She starts apologizing for rambling and I tell her it's okay. Yuri says sometimes she gets way too into books and forgets to pay attention to others and apologizes if she ends up saying anything strange. She tells me to stop her if she starts talking too much. And I tell her it's fine, it's cool, she's passionate about reading. I remind her that we're in a literature club, so this is the perfect setting for talking about books too much.
Literally why we're here.
Yeah, you're safe. I pull out my copy of the book she gave me, and I sit next to her and I start reading. I can feel her eyes watching me read, though. She apologizes and I say, oh, no, it's okay. And I slide my desk next to hers so we can read my copy together. Because I'm smooth like that.
I kind of get it, though. You know, it is exciting when you're introducing somebody to, like, your favorite thing. And you want to see them love it as much as you do.
And you stare at them and you're like, do you appreciate this? Is this also your favorite line? Come on.
Is it going over your head? Oh, my God, did I just embarrass myself?
Yeah. Yuri and I are huddled close reading one book with our shoulders, like, about to touch. She asks me, are you ready? And I go, for what? And she goes, to turn the page.
I read way faster than you.
She does. She's a big reader. I'm not in this world. So she's like zooming through it. So eventually I'm like, So when I know I'm ready, I just start flipping the page because I know she's been done for a minute.
You do read way faster than I do, and we're reading the same thing.
We will be reading like an article at the same time. And I'll be like, oh my God. And you'll go, what? What do you mean? I'm like, fucking 2 minutes. You'll understand why I'm so upset. We get through the first chapter, and I tell her that the main character reminds me of her because that girl keeps second-guessing herself the way Yuri does. And Yuri is like, damn, that's a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's embarrassing. And I walk it back, and I'm like, oh my God, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were self-conscious about that. And I meant it's cute. It's cute that you're insecure.
Oh, you fumbled that one.
No. This wins Yuri back, and she's like, oh, really?
Okay.
Then, Monica loudly announces that it's time to share poems. I show my poem to Yuri first because she's my girl. She says my poem is exceptional, and she says out loud to herself, oh my God, what am I getting so nervous for? Then she says it seems like I've written a lot of poems. And I tell her that's a huge compliment, and this is the first poem I've ever written. I read her poem, which is called Ghost Under the Light. This is Ghost Under the Light. I'm going to perform it for you.
Oh, please do. I'm so excited.
The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
I have notes.
It's an 18-year-old girl's poetry, Tom. You need to get the fuck over it. Ugh. There's probably an eyeball drawn in the corner,
right.
You know. I don't know if that makes sense for you, but I've been an 18-year-old girl. We love drawing eyeballs on shit. It's weird. She apologizes for her handwriting, and I tell her, no, I like your handwriting, and I like this poem. Next, I go to Monica to show her my poem. You can always decide the order of who you show your poems
Okay,
to.
so it's kind of arbitrary.
Yeah, but I stack them based on how much I like them. So with Monica, she tells me I did a great job and I had great use of metaphors. She's very encouraging and she tells me to keep going at it and try new things. Her poem is called Hole in the Wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of this meaningless image. It's just a hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
I know canonically she is over 18, but somebody call CPS like right now.
Oh, God.
That girl has an abusive home life, and this is a cry for help.
This is admission of crime in some sort.
Yeah.
I tell her, well, Monica, it's very freeform. And she says, yeah, that's a popular style lately. I ask her about the inspiration, because to your point, this might be a crime. And she says she had an epiphany recently, but she's a bit nervous to talk about it. She says that her writing tip of the day is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big puddle of ink. So move your hand and just go with the flow.
That's not how pens work anymore.
No, and it's very bendy in the ink machine. Monica is endlessly optimistic and charming. I figure next I'll show my poem to Sayori, and she says it's a good poem, and she appreciates that I'm here now in the club. She promises I'll have lots of fun here. And then she hands me her poem, which is called Dear Sunshine. The way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
Oh, that one was so woke.
Because she was waking up?
Yep.
I ask if she waited until this morning to write this. And she says, no! A little bit. All right, I forgot to do it last night. And I tell her that makes me feel better about myself. Because you're friends, so you can kind of give her shit, which is nice. And I told her it sounds like her, and that bitch does love breakfast. Finally, I have to talk to bitch-ass Natsuki, who reads my poem and says, that's about what I expected from you.
I like Natsuki. Immediately.
You love a mean girl.
I do.
I've done nothing but bully this girl in this episode, and you're like, yeah, I love a mean girl.
This is also like the bully.
This is a read on you more than anything. So she says, not saying it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotion.
It didn't.
I ask, well, was it not cute enough for your taste? And she says, do you want to get smacked? Her poem is called Eagles Can Fly. Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it.
I get it.
I hate that you love her.
I do. That one made the most sense to me.
I tell her I like it, I guess, and she blows me off, convinced I wouldn't have liked it. She says no one takes her writing seriously. And she says she wrote it because seeing everyone around you try to do great things can be really disheartening. And she seems proud and, honestly, frankly, really arrogant, and I can't fucking stand her. And then I stand back, and I watch Yuri and Natsuki read each other's poems. Yuri tells Natsuki her poem is cute, and Natsuki asks if she completely missed the symbolism of it at all.
Clearly.
Yuri says she was just trying to say something nice, and Natsuki asks if she had to try that hard to come up with something nice to say. Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all, Yuri.
These girls have history.
Bitch. That's in the side stories.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the wholesome shit. Yuri says she has some suggestions, but Natsuki cuts her off saying, if I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Natsuki goes off to start giving Yuri suggestions, but Yuri also shuts it down. They start standing up to verbally battle, both saying that I liked their poems, why am I getting involved in this? Natsuki asks why Yuri was trying so hard to impress me, and Yuri says Natsuki's just jealous that I appreciated her advice. And they start arguing over who gave me better advice, because again, I'm fucking involved in this now. And Natsuki accuses Yuri of being full of herself. Sayori, who again cannot read a situation to save her life, comes in and goes, hey, is everyone okay? Natsuki cracks and yells, I'm sorry, I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Andrea started showing up.
Oh.
And I get it, I tend to have that effect on women. Monica steps in to calm the situation as Yuri looks like she's about to fucking cry. But Natsuki and Yuri tell her to back off, and they're like, you know what, this doesn't involve you. Only Andrea. And again, I want nothing to do with this. Yuri looks at me and says, Natsuki's just trying to make her look bad. My boobs are always like this. Natsuki says, that's not true, and Yuri fucking started it. And then they start arguing over simple versus complex language and demand to know who I agree with. Yuri, who loves complex language and metaphors, or Natsuki, who loves simple, clear storytelling and being a bratty asshole.
Yeah, I get it. Natsuki.
I don't understand you. I'm on Team Yuri, and I side with her. I tell her I liked her poem. I tell Natsuki she shouldn't pick fights, and I tell Yuri that Yuri is a talented writer, and I was impressed. And honestly, Natsuki felt threatened that Yuri called her poem cute because Natsuki still put herself into this weird as fuck simple poem, but was vulnerable with the simple as fuck poem, you know? Yuri understands and apologizes. She's like, damn, you're right. Natsuki, for some reason, is like, nah, I'm still fighting, and she keeps going at it, but Monica comes in and puts an end to it all. She tells Natsuki to apologize, but Natsuki is furious no one had her back on this, and she ends up not apologizing and staying quiet like a butthole.
I got your back, Natsuki.
Oh my god. This is funny because we usually actually have crushes on the same women. So this is actually very confusing to me because I'm like, you're usually with me when I'm like, damn, and you're like, yup. Dumb and clueless as ever, Sayori comes in and says, you know, sometimes when I'm hurt, I like to take a walk to clear my head. Natsuki takes the hint and says, you know what? I'm gonna do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. She crumples up her poem, tosses it in the trash, and goes to get some air. And Monica is like, damn, she really didn't have to do that. Yuri is sitting quietly, and I go sit next to her. She says she's embarrassed she acted like that. And she says, you probably hate me now. And I tell her, no, I understand why she was frustrated. And I tell her she handled it as well as anyone could have, and I don't think any less of her. She thanks me for being kind and then thanks me for being a part of the club. She says, hey, that one thing Natsuki said about being shameful, and I clarify, what thing? And she says, you know what, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. Monica announces it's the end of club, and Sayori says, she had a great time. No, you didn't, you dumb bitch.
You had the worst time.
This was a terrible day. Monica says, great, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. It'll obviously go better. No, it won't.
They're in hell.
This is hell.
They're just torturing each other.
I figure since I learned more about everyone's writing style, I can write to impress my friends a little bit better. Sayori is excited to walk home with me, and it's been a long time since we've spent this much time together at all, and she seems really genuinely happy to be around me. I figure it's fine, but like, I don't know, she's way more excited than I am, you know what I mean? On the way home with Sayori, I ask if Yuri and Natsuki fight like that a lot, and Sayori says, no, I've never seen them fight like that at all. That was wild. She promises they're both wonderful people, though. She also says she's so grateful I'm in the club, and she loves seeing me so happy and being friends with everyone. I go home, I work on a new poem, and the next day, I'm ready for the literature club. Sayori is excited to see me and asks me to go with her to buy a snack, and I straight up say, oh, absolutely not, fuck you.
Oh.
Sayori has no money, so she for sure invited me so I'd buy her a snack, and I see right through her bullshit, and I tell her that, because I've known her for fucking ever.
Hell yeah.
She says she feels guilty, and I tell her, you know what? If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty.
Wow. Just this turn.
They've been friends for so long, you can be real with her and be like, I see through you.
That's fair.
Yuri's been listening in and starts giggling at this, because she's like, oh damn, you called her the fuck out. Sayori turns to Yuri and demands that Yuri tell me to lend her some money for food. Yuri tells her, whoa, I'm not getting involved in this. I was just in a fight yesterday.
Yeah, that is a third party. Do not get them involved.
And Sayori should only buy things she can afford, which is sound financial advice, Yuri.
Very much so.
I love someone who's financially literate. Ugh. Yuri immediately apologizes for saying this, though, because, again, I love her, but she second-guesses herself way too much. Sayori says Yuri is right and thanks Yuri for speaking her mind. I tell Yuri that Sayori knew what she was doing and she's full of shit like this, so don't get involved because she's a bullshit artist. After all, Sayori even told the club she was bringing me here before she told me. She's a fucking string puller. And Sayori says, well, I wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. Which, touche, bitch, I do love cupcakes.
I was here for the cupcakes.
Yeah.
Very specifically.
Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori on the face. She looks down and sees it was a cookie. She wonders out loud if she has magical powers.
Flying cookies.
Natsuki comes in laughing her ass off saying, I was just gonna give this to you, but then I heard you blabbing about the cupcakes. Sayori hugs the cookie and tells Natsuki, oh my god, that was so nice of you. Sayori slams the cookie down her throat and then complains that she bit her tongue. Which, it's been in there the whole time. What are you doing biting your tongue? Natsuki also has a cookie and Sayori asks for some of it, but Natsuki is like, no, I just gave you one, and beggars can't be choosers, you weird bitch. Sayori goes to hug Natsuki from behind to thank her for the cookie, and Natsuki pushes her off. But while Natsuki is pushing her off, Sayori takes a bite out of the cookie Natsuki is holding and then runs off.
What a lunatic.
She's so rat girl coded. Like, that's insane. If you gave me a cookie and I saw you had one, and I'm like, yo,
Oh.
Let me give you a hug. Munch.
And run.
And then runs away. Monica comes in apologizing for being late. She was in study hall playing piano and completely got lost in the music. Yuri and I go to make some tea together. Monica asks, wait, what are you guys doing? And we tell her, oh, we're going to go make some tea. And she says, how is that a 2-person job?
It's not.
Yuri snaps at her to mind her business.
Let me cook.
We go out to the hall to get water, and Yuri immediately freaks out. And she's like, oh my God, I feel so bad for snapping at Monica. And I was like, no, you did the right thing. It's fine. Let's hang out together alone. She asked how I'm so okay with her, even if she does bad things. And I'm like, first of all, you're being normal. That's fine. And then I tell her we're friends, and she pauses and says, I really like being friends with you, Andrea. I can fix her. We get our water and we head back to the classroom. She makes tea and asks that we sit on the floor when we read together today because it's actually easier on her back. She and I sit shoulder to shoulder this time, reading the same book. I offer her some chocolates, but she says she doesn't want to stain the book, which is like, oh my God, okay. She holds the book while I unwrap the chocolate and I pop one into my mouth. And then I unwrap another and pop one into hers so she stays hands-free. That's right.
That is slick.
I've hand-fed this bitch some chocolate so she wouldn't fuck up her scary book. This flusters her, and she starts stuttering, and then she's like, that's something friends do, right?
No.
And I'm like, yep, we are friends.
Buddy.
I do it again, and I see her chest rising and falling as she starts breathing heavy. She parts her lips and looks into my eyes, and I take a chocolate between my fingers and I start to slide it into her mouth, and we lock eyes. And then Monica announces it's poem time. This cock-blocking bitch.
Oh, I love that. That was perfect.
She's interrupting my clam jam, and I hate her for it. We clean up our tea set and get our fucking poems, and I think I hate Monica now.
You nerds in your tea set, though.
I love tea.
I know.
I have to keep the ball rolling with my girlfriend now, so I share my poem with Yuri first. She says, today's poem is even better than yesterday's. Yuri's hands look sweaty, which, mood, hyperhidrosis queen. She says she's not used to this, and she says it makes her really happy to see my writing get better because of working with her and talking about the process.
Oh, so this is her taking credit for this.
I fully feel like on her side, she's like, I can fix him. We're both two just dumbasses being like, oh no, we're gonna make the other one better. We're not.
You're both broken.
Yuri's poem today is called The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious still aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement, a rush of blood, classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again.
Does she know what a poem is?
I'm sorry it's not an iambic pentameter, Tom.
That was just an ASMR dictation.
I think you're reading me and not the poem. Was that on my performance? Are you kidding me? I'm going to do a little real life lore as well. So Tom actually did a senior seminar in poetry in college. So he's very, he knows what poems are like.
You did too. It's where we met.
I know. Isn't that sweet?
Oh no.
Oh, his eyes are real wide.
How is this going to end?
So Tom, how did we meet?
In poetry class.
Why did we meet each other in poetry class?
Because we were teamed up together to write back and forth between one another.
We wrote poems to each other for an entire semester. And 14 years later, we're still together?
Yep, that's what happened.
That's what'll happen with me and Yuri now.
Oh my god.
Now, I tell Yuri that this poem is much more metaphorical than last time, and it's good. I love raccoons. And bread's great. Next, I show my poem to Monica. She says, oh, this one's good, and the imagery is better than the last one. I like making Monica happy. There's something about her energy where I'm like, okay, I do appreciate your appreciation. She shows me her poem, which is called Save Me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me.
No. I'm not gonna load you.
And I'm like, damn, that's abstract. I don't know what the fuck that shit was. And she says, hey, that's just the way I write. She gives me Monica's writing tip of the day, and we wrap up. I move on to Sayori, who likes my poem and says it has some nice feelings in it. I ask if it's better than yesterday's, and she says, I don't know, I like them both. I tell her that's not helpful at all.
She's a real fence rider.
Her poem today is called Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all of my dreams, little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, in bottles, all in a row. My collection makes lots of friends, each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done. I open up, and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. In shards, all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something, but all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head.
That was the plot of Inside Out.
Oh my god, you're right. I didn't notice that. This bitch has Disney Plus.
That was just her emotions in the little fucking glass jars and the bottles and shit.
It's giving Amy Poehler.
Yeah. Where's Sadness?
She is Sadness. I just say, holy crap, Sayori, did you really write this? Because it's the plot of Inside Out. And she says, of course she did. And I just explain, I didn't expect this from her. She says, Monica taught her a lot, and she's really been in touch with her feelings since yesterday. Okay, bitch. I tell her she should be proud of this one and keep it up, and she says she's going to keep writing until she dies. Now, most 18-year-old girls are fatally dramatic like this, but even here, bitch, tone it down.
I hate that all their poetry is getting a lot longer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super fun to recite. I tell her to chill out, and she usually gives up on things within a week, so, like, you're not gonna write until you die, you weird bitch. But it's nice seeing her so passionate and happy about something. Now I go to your girlfriend Natsuki, that mean asshole, to show her my poem.
Aw.
She says she liked my last one better. What the fuck, bitch?
And she didn't really like the last one.
She hated the last one. She says she sees that I tried harder, but I'm not good enough for it, and it fell flat. I'm sorry, that's like the meanest shit you can say. Like, while playing this, I was like, what are you... as a player, you can't read the poetry you write. You just plug words in, and it drives your experience. So
okay.
I can't even tell what she's criticizing.
Just your life choices.
Yeah, she's just like, you as a person, fuck you. I tell her I just wanted to try something different, and Natsuki complains she hates it when people try to sound fancy or add more meaning just by using annoying and complicated language. She says Yuri's head over heels for all this cryptic nonsense, but I see right through that bullshit. And then she starts laughing at me. Just open mouth, teeth and tongue showing, laughing at me.
I'm into it.
What the fuck? Are you okay?
I'm doing great. I like a mean girl.
I know. God damn it. Today's Natsuki poem is called Amy Likes Spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of the words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if she doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers, and I'm going to tell everyone.
I hate spiders too.
You need to get off her dick.
But substitute the word spiders with Nazi.
Oh.
Do you get the poem now?
No, I get it.
I'm into Natsuke.
What a wild I did not expect you to be a Natsuki apologist. But to be and like again, I've known you for 14 years. This did I mean, okay. Natsuki looks at you and she's like, "Not bad, right?" Like she's so proud of this. And I can't think of anything to say, so I say, "It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's poem."
They all are.
Natsuki gets into it about how it's a commentary on judgment and that she's going to write a good one for tomorrow too. So look forward to it, fatty.
Fatty.
I just feel like she'd call me fat or something. I don't know. At the end of Poem Hour, Monica announces that the club will be doing a performance at the upcoming cultural festival at the school. She says each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event, and we're going to let everyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's been working on posters and shows off one that she's been coloring. Natsuki is immediately angry and is like, "Are you kidding me, Monica?" Monica says she already started putting up posters. Yuri's on Natsuki's side and she doesn't want to perform in front of people. Monica apologizes, saying she understands Yuri and Natsuki have never shared their writing before, but she thinks it'll be good for us to share our best. She says if we do a good performance, it'll inspire others to do the same, and the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature's about. And Sayori is just excited to be a part of anything, so she's like, "Yeah, this is fun! I'm coloring!" Monica is like, "Yes, see, it's fun, and this is going to be an inspirational moment for others, and maybe they'll join the club." Yuri and Natsuki do not say anything at all because they're fucking pissed. I simply say, "Hey, I agree, I don't think that's too much to ask." I get that Sayori and Monica have been trying hard to get more people to join the literature club, and I agree, I think this could be a good way to get new members.
Yeah, but public speaking is for a lot of people their number one fear.
Oh, absolutely. And when you're public speaking poetry that you wrote in high school?
Oh my god.
Ugh. I'd rather my nudes leak, you know? I would rather my nudes leak than my notes app leak. Like, on God.
In your drafts.
Ugh. I destroyed a Chromebook after college. And it was only partially accidental. I was kind of like, I'm cool if this is all lost media. That's fine.
It's probably better that one goes.
Yeah, we don't need to revisit this moment.
I'm glad I dropped it.
Natsuki says, "Fine, let's just get this over with." Yuri sighs and says, "I guess I don't really have a choice. This club is seriously going to be the death of me." Everyone just so fucking dramatic because you're
so over the top.
18, hormones on 10.
Everything's
okay.
the end of the world.
Truly. Monica says, "Oh my gosh, you guys will be fine. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other." Natsuki immediately says, "Oh, no way." Yuri says, "Oh, this is too sudden." But Monica explains, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? And Yuri is shocked and is like, "Oh no, that's the concept of what we're doing." Monica says she'll go first to break the ice, and then Sayori volunteers to go next. She reads a poem called The Way They Fly, and she's confident and clear, and she has everyone hanging off of every word. We all clap when Monica finishes. Sayori tells her, "Oh my god, that was so good," and Monica thanks her. Yuri goes next and storms the podium. I think she wants to just, like, get this all over with.
Fully, I do too.
She reads a poem called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Her voice shakes a bit at the beginning, but then she gets into it, and her quivering words transform into sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. She enunciates with perfect timing. Then she's done, and everyone's honestly in awe. I start clapping, and everyone claps, praising Yuri. That's my girl. Monica thanks her, and Sayori goes to the podium to read a poem called My Meadow. She giggles a bunch, and Monica tells her to relax and focus. The poem is serene and bittersweet, nothing like Sayori's bubbly persona. Sayori finishes the poem and announces, I did it! As we all applaud. Monica asks Natsuki to go next, but she demands that I go first. I go up and read the poem I wrote for today's club meeting, and I'm okay, but it's hard to put my energy into it. Monica tells me it'll get easier as I get more comfortable in my writing. Natsuki goes up and demands to know why we're all looking at her. Monica reminds her that she's presenting in front of us, you dipshit. She grunts and says, this poem is called Jump. When she reads, her sourness fades a bit as she focuses on the words. When she's done, she huffs back to her seat. She says it's embarrassing to read in front of friends, and it'll be easier in front of a crowd. Monica assures her it'll be great, and then she concludes today's meeting and says, all right, the festival's coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. We'll finish planning for the festival tomorrow, and we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. Sayori says she can't wait. Yuri tells herself, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Sayori and I head home, and she seems quieter today. She says she was just spacing out, and she eventually asks, so let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. What would you do? I ask her, what kind of fucking question is that, Sayori?
Yeah.
I would obviously walk home with Yuri. I know Sayori felt awkward, so I tell her, I would feel awful turning her down. Is that what you want to fucking hear, bitch? And that's obviously a lie. I'd walk with Yuri wherever because I want to smell her hair, but I don't know. Sayori's being kind of weird today, so I'm going to be a little gentle.
And saying that out loud might be a little weird.
Was it? Oh, fuck. I said it into a microphone, Tom. Sayori says it won't be long before I won't need her anymore, which feels so out of nowhere. So I just tell her, I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Which is also, like, such a great thing to say out loud to a friend, to be like, what the fuck is going on in your head? She apologizes, and I say, everyone's different. No one is a replacement for you. And she says, if you say so. And the conversation dies. I go home and work on my poem for tomorrow's club meeting. The next day, Monica and I get to the club at the same time. She got caught up playing piano again, and I'm just a messy, late, dumb boy. We all start talking, and Natsuki says she's so excited for the festival. Specifically, all the food. Not necessarily our part of the festival, but there'll be so much food there.
See, how are you against Natsuki?
I'm
almost thinking that this is almost like a lesson in how you've got the visual aspect when you were playing the game. I'm going off pure personality here. So I don't know what these people look like.
Because you think I am Natsuki.
Yeah.
I am 5'4", bitch. I am nothing like her. I do have a little bit of a fuck-ass bob, but
Sometimes.
I tell Natsuki she sounds like Sayori, and she blows me off asking if they're gonna have fried squid at the festival. I ask where Sayori is, and she's in a corner of the room at a desk. She's just kind of looking down at nothing and spacing out. I go over and I have to wave my hand in her face to get her attention. And she's like, oh, don't mind me, go talk to everyone else. I ask Sayori if she's okay, and she says, yeah, I'm fine. She says I worry too much about her, and she gives me a big smile, but it feels fake, let's be so real. She tells me not to distract myself with her, and I'm like, all right, bitch. And I just walk off, and I guess I just have to give her space, so I go back to the group.
Sometimes it's just what you need to do.
Exactly. I go up to Monica, and I'm like, hey, have you noticed anything weird with Sayori lately? Monica hasn't noticed anything weird at all, but maybe there's just something on her mind. I tell Monica, well, she's not usually like this. She usually tells me what's bothering her, whether I like it or not, even after I tell her to leave me the fuck alone. But today she's being super dismissive. And then I apologize and I tell Monica, it's not your problem, my bad. And Monica says, no, it's okay. I'm also friends with her. Like, I get it. I also care about the well-being of my club members. Maybe I'll talk to her myself. And I ask her, hey, are you sure? And she says, well, maybe she didn't want to talk to her person of interest. I ask what she means with that shit, and she says, I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Andrea. I ask how she came to that conclusion and that Sayori likes me, because, what the fuck, she's like my terrible sister. And Monica tells me, well, Sayori talks about you more than anything else. She's been so much happier ever since you've joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. And I'm like, what? No. No, she's always been like that. She's always been full of sunshine, even when I fucking hate it.
Oh, but it's just when you're around.
Yeah, Monica asked, have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful because that's how she is when she's around you?
Oh, she's a completely different person around everybody else.
And I'm
she's
like,
the sad girl.
Bitch. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. And Monica walks it back a bit. She goes, I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so actually just forget all about that. And I hate when this happens. Because honestly, in real life, I don't think I've ever caught on to when someone has a crush on me, especially when I was in high school.
Oh my God, they better just like outright say it. And even then, probably gonna miss it.
When was the last time I asked if you're like playing the long game prank or not? Was it this week? Was I like, you're doing like a really long prank though, right? And you're like, I love you. I don't know how I'm supposed to forget about Sayori's crush on me at all, but Monica is like, you know what, I'm going to go talk to her. And then I see Monica going to Sayori to talk to her, but from where I'm standing, I can't hear what they're saying, and I want to give them space. They're having a moment. Maybe it's on some girl shit, and I'm a messy hetero boy in this world, so it's not my business. I start talking to Yuri, who's once again shy and apologetic for absolutely no reason. I tell her, hey, I'm actually a little bit worried about Sayori, and she says, Sayori's a really complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head, and she may not always know what she wants. Yuri also noticed Sayori was being weird today, and she's a little concerned, but she's like, hey, we're 18-year-old girls, dude. Every day is life or death. We're always having a meltdown.
It's the end of the world again.
Yuri asks about me and Sayori, and I assure her, oh, she's just a friend. Truly, nothing there. I find nothing attractive about her. She's actually very annoying. I love you.
Kinda can't stand her.
Yuri says, well, Sayori would be a very fortunate person to have me feel that way about her. Even if I'm like, I don't like her at all. We're just friends. I tell Yuri she's giving me way too much credit, and then I casually say I want to suck the farts out of her butthole.
Oh my God.
No, I don't, but you know.
You wanted to.
Monica says, it's poem time, and I cozy up to Yuri. She says this poem has improved again, and she can really feel the emotions. We have a heart-to-heart, and Yuri talks about how she sits alone at lunch every day to read because the friends in her books don't tease her. She realizes what she's been missing, and it's me. She appreciates that I've been patient with her and respectful, and she says she's difficult. She speaks slowly, she second-guesses herself, she reads too deeply into things, but I've always treated her well this whole time. She finally feels comfortable with herself, and she's happy when I'm talking to her. Because I'm fixing her.
No, she's fixing you.
Oh, God damn it, shut up. We can be codependent, Tom. And I tell her, I treat you the way you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them.
Oh my gosh, this is some toxic language.
This
I am
is so
not gonna
bad.
lie.
They definitely share a Facebook account.
Oh God.
They definitely check each other's phones.
No one will ever love you the way I love you.
There's definitely a secret WhatsApp app on one of their phones
Jesus
hidden as a
Christ.
calculator. Some bullshit. She shows me her poem, which is called Ghost Under the Light Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds. The silhouette grows, closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility. But I'm too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber.
Ugh.
You hate her.
I just do not care for her poetry at the very least.
You're like, shut up.
Yeah, ghosts aren't real.
Get to the point. I'm sorry, the subject matters what you're saying? It's the paranormal that's throwing you off?
No, but still, it's just so bad.
I tell her I don't know how to respond to this poem. And she says she's not sure if she can explain this one. I tell her, it's okay. I think I understand.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I ask if this one means a lot to her, and she nods. I tell her I'm not good with words, but I'm happy she shared it with me, which is at least appropriate to say. I thank her and I tell her I hope we keep spending time together. I try to hand her the poem back, but she tells me to keep it. She wants me to have it. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with this baby girl. She tells me I make her feel nice and hopes to return the favor. And oh, baby, best believe we can do that. She's my girlfriend now. We love each other.
You've spent 5 minutes as a man.
I'm predatory immediately.
Immediately. This girl has only been nice to you. She is not your girlfriend.
I fed her chocolate, Tom. We had a moment. She owes me this.
No, holy shit. Continue, please.
Wait.
I'm loving this little journey you're on.
Am I the bad guy in this? I might be the villain in Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh, God. Okay, after that moment of realization I'm having, we move on to Sayori, who's just a friend again, because actually I just want to check up on her because she's been all fucked up today. She reads my poem and is like, yeah, it's nice, I guess. I ask straight up, is something wrong with you? And she's like, no, I'm just a little tired today. She sneaks out and leaves early.
The fact that she didn't really, love your poem and you're like, is something wrong with you?
Oh, I didn't read it like that. She's like, it's nice. And I'm like, you're fucked up today. I'm a genius. After that, I go to Monica, who asks what I'm performing. And I tell her I'm still trying to figure that out. She reads my poem for today. And she says, my style's gotten so refined. Maybe it's from all the time I'm spending with Yuri. She teases me a bit about Yuri and how we read together and all. Monica tells me Yuri has a hard time opening herself up, so be patient. She tells me essentially to tread lightly, and I ask if she thinks I'm going to hurt her, because I'm not. I'm her friend. Her special friend. Monica says it's more likely that Yuri would hurt herself, so, don't worry about it. She moves on and shows me her poem called The Lady Who Knows Everyone. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders the earth, the lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains until the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall, and I fall, and I fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and the forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I'm thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that one. Not gonna lie. Monica, that was weird.
You're just like, bitch, are you okay?
Are you the feather from Forrest Gump? I don't know.
Yeah, she's Forrest Gump. Monica says, not to get too philosophical, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. Being a feather. She's a little weird about it and calls herself one-dimensional, then blows it off and gives me Monica's writing tip of the day.
One-dimensional? All right. Also, Monica seems very team on Yui.
On Yui?
Andrea and Yuri.
Oh, I thought you meant she's really into ennui. I was like, oh, you're getting philosophical. Yeah, I think she just wants me to be happy. She does care about her club members.
She does, clearly.
Now I have to talk to the most annoying bacon-wrapped bitch on earth, Natsuki.
Oh, I love Natsuki.
She reads my poem and says, I guess you really haven't learned anything after all. Honestly, I don't know why I got my hopes up in the first place. I fucking hate this girl so much.
You hate her because she's the only one not sucking the farts out of your butthole.
Yeah.
She's speaking the truth at you.
I don't know if I'm a good writer or not. I'm honest, and it's a character, I'm vulnerable. And I ask her, what did I do wrong? And she says, poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. She tells me, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. She stutters and asks if I'm trying to impress Yuri. I tell her to keep her voice down because obviously I'm trying to impress Yuri. She gets mad and says, I'm so done with you. She shoves my poem back at me and she doesn't even show me her bullshit poem.
Because she knows she can't take you seriously. You just admitted you're only doing this to impress Yuri.
Technically the character didn't. That was a little hyperbole on my part. I apologize. She's like, are you trying to impress Yuri? And I'm like, shut up. Obviously. But...
Yeah, the subtext is still there.
The subtext is there, and I guess the NPCs can read subtext.
Natsuki definitely can.
Yeah.
She writes in pure subtext.
Monica addresses the group, and the dynamic is palpably different with Sayori not being here. Natsuki makes fun of me for not walking her home and accuses me of being lovey-dovey with Sayori, and I tell her to shut the fuck up, because we're just friends. Sayori's just trying to figure some shit out, and don't say that in front of Yuri. Monica pipes in saying, oh, no, it's fine. She talked to Sayori, and everything's good. Monica transitions into talking about the festival now. Natsuki is making cupcakes. That's like her whole deal. Monica will be making poetry pamphlets to like hand out to people, and Yuri will be making some banners and decor. Monica's not sure about me, but figures I can just help someone. Yuri and Natsuki argue a bit over having me help them with either baking or decorations. And obviously, I picked Yuri. Natsuki says, are you serious? Why would you? But Monica cuts her off. Monica says, Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean.
Let her speak.
You're like, exactly. Natsuki growls and pouts, but Yuri glows and says, oh, I'm glad you'll be helping me. Natsuki is in such a shitty mood, everyone has to stop and bow to her and tell her how great her cupcakes are and how awesome she is while she pouts like an asshole.
She's the one who made cupcakes. Y'all haven't made shit.
We're about to make a decor, Tom. She gets over herself after everyone really fluffs her up, and she decides her cupcakes will be the best part of the event. Maybe even the festival. Monica's just happy no one's fighting anymore and concludes that the club meeting is over for today. On the way out, Yuri stops me and we exchange phone numbers, because, we gotta hang out and make some decor happen. She says she'll swing by my house this Sunday. We both leave, and I am so excited to see her. We fast forward, and now it's Sunday, the day I'm supposed to see Yuri. We start texting a bit, but I'm just all butterflies. I'm excited. On the other hand, though, I haven't heard from Sayori at all since she, dipped out on the club, so I'm a little worried about her. I figure before Yuri comes over, I'll go see Sayori, and I'll check in on her.
This is a tactic.
She wants my attention?
Yep.
She's being dramatic?
Yep, you have begged her to leave you alone, and now she's leaving you alone. You're going straight to her.
I'm not good in this game. Oh, no. I go into her house, which is unlocked, but it's really quiet. It doesn't seem like anyone's home. I go upstairs to her bedroom, and it's weird. She usually, runs downstairs to greet me, and she's, screaming my name, oh, my God, it's Andrea, whenever I come through the door, but I don't even hear her moving around. I ask for her, and she's in her room. She says, hi, Andrea. She's quiet, and she's weird, and she breaks the silence saying, hey, you haven't come over in a really long time. Her room is messy as shit, and she says, if I came over more, it wouldn't be so messy. And I tell her, well, that's because I would end up cleaning it for her because her room's such a fucking pigsty, I can't stand it. You were so brother-sister with her. It's fucking amazing.
She just doesn't see it that way.
I tell her I wanted to see how she was doing. And I tell her when something's wrong, she can't hide it from me. I know her way too well. She just she's so weak and she's so sad and she's so low energy. And she says, why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't even be thinking of me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. And then she giggles. And I yell at her asking, what are you saying? And I tell her, I know something happened. There's no other explanation for why you're like this. And she giggles and she says, you really put me in a trap, Andrea, but you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't find a reason to get out of bed.
Oof.
What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? I think you and I have both known a lot of people like this, unfortunately.
Fully, and maybe not treated them the way that I probably should have.
It's hard. You never know what someone's going through.
You don't.
And something as simple as being chronically late can be an indicator. And this is something Dan Salvato has talked about of You see these little things in people, but they really do accumulate to the larger story.
Yeah.
Sayori says, why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy to waste by having them spend it on me? She says she just wants to make others happy without them worrying about her. I ask her why she never told me, and she says, I don't understand at all. She says she just wanted me to make friends so I wouldn't worry about her, but then seeing me make friends in the club feels like a spear going through her heart. She says every path leads to nothing but hurt, and she starts crying, and she calls herself weak and selfish. I hug her tight. I tell her I care so much about her. She doesn't hug me back. She cries harder. She cries, and then she hugs me a little and then lets go. And I tell her, you know what, let's hang out at the festival tomorrow. We'll have the best time. I tell her, I'll cancel on Yuri right now and I'll hang out with her today. And she tells me not to. I tell her to come over and spend time with me and Yuri. We'll all work together. We'll have a good time. We'll have a kiki. It'll be great. And she says, no, that wouldn't be good for her today. She tells me she'll see me tomorrow. And I tell her, okay, I look forward to it. I leave feeling weird about that whole interaction, but I think about what Sayori said, to try not to worry about her and how happy she is that I have friends to focus on. I get home and Yuri's standing outside. She comes in and notices how clean my room is, because keep it clean for my girl.
You'll even keep your friend's house clean.
I know. My protagonist character is actually probably a bit of a neat freak. Yuri says she has a lot of fun, atmospheric things like aromatherapy oils and candles so everyone can feel transported by the literature club, really making it into a cool thing. She sets off an aromatherapy oil with jasmine, and we start doing some arts and crafts to hang up in the room. We work on some ribbons of paper to make a door curtain, and Yuri busts out this sick as fuck knife to cut the paper. And she tells me, she's like, I'm actually really into knives. I have a little collection at my house. I think they're so fucking cool.
Okay, Yuri's cool all of a sudden.
I'm like, honestly, that's sick as shit. I also love knives. Yep, thank you. I'm so glad you finally get it. Like
the knives.
She's sad, but she loves knives. That's fucking awesome. I hold her knife and curiously touch the end, poking myself a tiny bit, and blood immediately spews out of my finger like a fire hose.
Oh my god, what were you thinking was gonna happen?
I touch pointy thing good, pointy thing bad. Yuri instinctively grabs my bleeding finger, puts it in her mouth, and starts licking the wound.
Whoa, that's not no, only your own finger you do that with. Other mouths are just bacteria.
I also don't think you're supposed to do that with your own finger.
Not really, no.
I can feel her tongue curl around my finger.
It's kind of hot.
Whoa! Whoa! Okay, Tom. I pull my finger out of her mouth and Yuri starts freaking out, which is reasonable. She did some weird shit, and she starts begging for forgiveness. Her face goes beet red, and she says, that is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. Which I think I agree with. I don't know how you could top that.
Yeah.
She went to the house of a boy she has a crush on and started licking an open wound. Filleting an open wound.
Oh my
Bitch,
God.
what are you doing? But I don't want to make her feel bad about the weird shit. We all have weird shit. I tell her, hey, you're overreacting. But she's having a full-on meltdown. And also, she's not overreacting. This is a reasonable thing to licking someone's open wound.
Yeah.
I figure, you know what? Let's get weird with it. And I take her hand and I lick her index finger.
Why are you making it weirder?
This isn't even an optional thing. This is just what the game drives you. This is not a thing I chose to do, to be very clear, because I think that's gross.
Not a choice moment.
Not a choice moment. This is just what's written into the script. She yelps and was like, did you really just do that? And I look at her in the eyes and I say, now we're even.
Oh.
This shit is freaky out of nowhere. They're 18. Why are you acting like this?
They're 18.
Oh. Damn. She says, you're weird, and then she starts giggling. We move on to a watercolor banner, and I leave to go get some water. When I come back, she's fidgeting with her sleeve, but is excited to paint with me. She seems really happy to be here with me. Probably because we started licking each other's hands. We did hand stuff.
Technically.
We finish the banner, and I tell her, hey, we should hang out again soon. You know, because you sucked on my finger.
Is that second base?
It's second base is hand stuff, so yeah.
Okay.
You skipped first, which is a bummer. You didn't get a smooch, but you did go straight to hand stuff. I walk her outside and tell her, hey, you know what? You're welcome over anytime you want. And she stops to look me in the eyes. And we look at each other. The sun is setting. It's beautiful. We just had a moment. We licked each other. And then Sayori runs over.
Of course she does.
She's like, hey, guys, I just wanted to say hi.
Not depressed anymore.
I'm fine. Yuri's like, oh, shit, I was just leaving. But hey, I'll see you tomorrow at the festival. Cool? And then Yuri's like, oh, God damn it. I gotta go. And she gets embarrassed and kind of runs off. Sayori said she wanted to see how much fun me and Yuri were having, so she decided to pop over. And she said she's so happy I've made such good friends because that's all that matters to her. And then she starts crying again.
Oh, that is depression.
She says, yeah, that's all that matters to me. Why do I feel this way? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. I tell her not to say that, but she says, it's true. She said, Monica's right. I should just... And I ask what Monica said to her, but Sayori doesn't answer. I tell her she isn't a burden, and I care about her a lot. I tell her I'll be by her side until she doesn't feel any more pain. Sayori tells me she's scared. She says she's scared she likes me more than I like her, and then she asks if it's true. Before I can answer, she says, I like you so much I want to die. That's how I feel. I tell her that's enough. I don't want her to hurt anymore. Here, the game gives you the choice to tell her, you are my dearest friend. Or, I love you.
Oh.
I look into her eyes and I say, you'll always be my dearest friend.
Friend zoned her.
Fully.
Uh-oh.
I did.
I mean, if it's how you feel, that's what you should say.
It is. And like, yeah, I think it's more fucked up to say I love you when you don't than it is to be real.
Very true.
And I've been told I'm blunt to a fault, so.
Which is one of the things I appreciate about you.
So much so people have said I'm mean, so maybe that's where this is all coming around.
Natsuki.
I tell her, what you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were.
That's a little toxic.
It's so tough. I don't like that the language kind of keeps her on the hook a little bit.
Yeah.
She smiles and says, I see. But it's a hard smile she's putting on just for me. She asks, is this what it's like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came out here, just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just wanted to go back to the way it was. You really do know me better than anyone, Andrea. I'll trust you with anything. She stops smiling, falls to her knees, and starts screaming as loud as she can.
Whoa.
I don't know how to handle this. I am an 18-year-old boy, and I'm pretty fucking toxic, so I cannot handle this well.
You're just finding out.
Yeah. Sayori looks at me, smiles, and runs away.
What a loon.
I call after her, but I don't know what to do, and now she's just gone.
So she's just like, ah! Boom. Runs away.
Yeah. Again, full rat girl. It's Monday, the day of the festival. The in-game music has stopped, and it's quiet now. I've hit up Sayori to walk to school together, but she's not answering. I would be embarrassed, so I probably wouldn't answer either. I head to school, and I see Monica, who is surprised Sayori isn't with me. I tell her she overslept again, and I feel like I should have gone to check up on her in person. Is that weird? Monica says after that exchange yesterday, I probably should have done something. I'm like, hold up, you weren't there. How did you know about what happened on Sunday? When you weren't fucking there. And she's like, well, I'm the club president after all. That makes no sense. And I'm like, oh God, Sayori must have fucking called Monica to tell her since they had like a heart-to-heart. And then she told her that she confessed her love to me. And I told her that we're good friends. Oh God. And with that in mind, I tell Monica she doesn't know the full story. And Monica says, okay, I know more than you think, which feels a little creepy, but I think they had a girl moment, you know? Monica shows me the pamphlets that she made, and they have Natsuki and Yuri's poems inside. It's very professional. It's actually really nice to be able to follow along and take it with you. Sayori's poem is also printed, but it's a new one that I haven't seen before. The poem consists of the words, get out of my head 40 times over and over again.
Whoa, that's not a poem. That's just some lunatic rambling.
After that section, the poem goes, "Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem." But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving.
What is being planned? I'm scared now.
I read this and I felt fucking sick. Monica asks what's wrong, and I tell her, I'm gonna go get Sayori, and Monica tells me to hurry back. On my way out, she yells not to strain myself, and this felt so fucking haunting, because, like, I've been a deeply depressed 18-year-old girl surrounded by other deeply depressed 18-year-old girls, and the shit gets so dark in that world. This doesn't feel right at all, and Monica is not fucking scared enough. I think she's like, oh, haha, it's a lovey thing, and I'm like, bitch, no. And that's what really fucked me up, because it's one thing to create a scary atmosphere, and it's another to have the characters not moved by the fear. I kick myself thinking I should have tried harder for Sayori. Maybe I should have lied to her. I don't fucking know. I get to her house and no one is home.
Oh.
I let myself in and I call for her, but I don't hear anything. I knock on her door, but I hear nothing. I open the door to her bedroom and see Sayori hanging from a rope tied to a ceiling.
Damn.
She hangs and slightly sways as the screen glitches with a file breaking. The imagery is fucking haunting. It is awful to see her like this, swaying in her room. This bubbly, sweet dumbass that was established to be my childhood friend at the end of a rope. The art is awful. It's awful in that it's incredibly moving, but it made me feel fucking queasy looking at it. Thankfully, you're not stuck with it too long, but for that short time I was looking at it, it fucking ruined me. When I was about 13 years old, I lost a friend in this exact same way. She was the girl down the street, 2 houses down, and she took her life in this exact same way. We were just girls together. She was a girl I grew up with, and over the summers when all of our parents were at work, we'd all play in the street, all the kids from my block, and she was the kind of girl that I don't know if I would have bonded with this late in life or when I was in high school or later, but as kids, we were right there together the whole time. And we went to the same schools. We did a lot of things together, but we kind of drifted apart as we got older, and she was 14 and I was 13, and this was really fucking hard for me.
Tragically, I feel like far too many of us know that same person.
Yeah. 30 million people have played this game, and I don't know if it's harmful or helpful for others, but it felt really personal here.
I can understand why.
The glitch ends, and I'm back in the game world, and the music kicks back in. The screen goes black, sparing us from watching Sayori. The text box shows my thoughts. That I told her everything would be okay and I'd be there for her. Why did she do this? What did I do wrong? Was it turning down her confession? Did that push her over the edge? Why did I do that when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is all my fault. I swirl about losing my best friend. She's gone now forever. The text box says, this isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I only had one chance, and now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers, but I still couldn't do what she needed from me, and now I can't ever take it back. Never. The screen goes black, and we see the word end.
Wow.
The opening credits of the game start again. We see the studio logos. The home screen comes up with Yuri, Natsuki, Monica, and a glitched girl where Sayori was.
What?
The glitch appears to be a mix of all 3 girls combined, like pieces of their hair, their face, their outfit. Where it should say new game, the letters are glitched and it looks like gibberish. I hit what should be new game and the game starts again. It's the same opening score, but it's distorted a little. I get the same opening scene where I see an annoying girl running up to me, but the text where Sayori is talking is glitching. Where she appeared in front of me last time to walk with me to school, I get a black box glitch that has parts of the other girls showing up. The screen blacks out and starts again. It's like the game knows what's supposed to happen, but with Sayori gone, it starts crashing out.
What the fuck?
Then the screen says that I've always walked to school alone. I go to school, and at the end of the day, I think of clubs. Here, where Sayori demanded I join her for the literature club, I see a glitch girl. Then the glitch girl becomes Monica. She stands in front of me. She says, "It's been a while." She's in the room looking for supplies for her club. She says she started a literature club and there's only 3 members so far. She asks me to visit the club to see if I like it and then calls me sweet. The game says, I think, and thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile.
Oh my god.
I join her for literature club and see Yuri. As she appears, the screen glitches black for a moment and the music distorts, but only for a moment. Natsuki arrives and I'm formally introduced to them both. Yuri is the vice president now. Yuri makes tea and runs through the same conversation I had with her before. She's shy, but she loves books, she likes fantasy, and occasionally horror. Monica says she found one of Natsuki's poems and pitches that we all write poems to read tomorrow. I go home to start working on my poem. The game prompts me saying, "You unlocked a special poem.
Oh.
Would you like to read it?" And I'm like, oh my god, yes.
Finally.
And the poem has 3 stanzas. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts.
Oh no.
Next to the text is a hand-drawn stick figure of Sayori hanging from a noose.
Jesus Christ.
And this isn't presented to you from a character. This poem is presented to you by the game. I work on my poem, picking out words for Yuri. After I pick out my words, the Happy Thoughts poem glitches across my screen for a split second as the music stops and makes way for a guttural growl. The next day at Literature Club, Monica welcomes me. I talk to Yuri, and for a split second, her face is glitched but goes back to normal. Natsuki comes in, glitching along the side of the screen before popping into place. It's like they have a track they're supposed to be on, but something's blocking the track, and they have to scramble to adjust. The music feels faster and slightly out of tune, like a warped vinyl record. Monica pops over my text box for a few lines, but then leaves. The room feels tilted, like everything's just out of place for where it should be. Yuri gives me a book she picked up so I wouldn't feel left out. She tells me more about the book, how the facility in the book has been selectively breeding people and cutting off their limbs, but she's really enjoying it. Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, right? Who likes that kind of shit?
She talks a bit about the book, then her text box changes. The normal white text is highlighted in black now, and she says, "The world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway."
Yeah, kind of true.
Jesus Christ, Tom. Then Yuri stops herself and is like, "Oh my god, I'm rambling." And I tell her, "It's okay, it's a literature club. We're supposed to talk about books." But she's not talking about books. She's breaking. She's losing it, and her personality is cracking. All the text boxes have been simple white text, but this dark blacked out text is menacing and harsh against the pastel cutesy world of Literature Club, and it feels sharp like a knife. I start reading the book Yuri gave me, and I feel her looking over my shoulder. We start to share the book reading together and share the one copy. She asks if I'm ready to turn the page, and we continue. She starts to breathe heavy, and it's honestly to the point where I turn and I'm like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Are you running while we're reading?
She checks her heartbeat and she says, I need some water. And she rushes out of the classroom. I made her so fucking nervous.
Oh my gosh, that's actually kind of sweet.
Monica comes up to me and is like, "Hey, did something just happen?" And I tell her, I have no idea what's happening. Which is true across the fucking board. She asks if I did something to Yuri, and I tell her, "Oh my god, no, of course not." And Monica tells me, "All right, well, we'll start sharing poems now." And I'm like, "Well, what about Yuri?" And Monica goes, "She's fine." Monica's kind of freaking me out right now, so I share my poem with Natsuki first since Yuri stepped outside. Natsuki reads my poem and says, "If you're not going to take this club seriously, then just go home." I read her poem, it's the Eagles Can Fly poem, and I tell her I like it. Because, Tom likes it, so why not?
Yeah.
I show my poem to Monica. She likes it, and she goes, "I was thinking, ooh," in my head. Which is like...
Now you just said it out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. Why would... Just say it, bitch. Yuri comes back and apologizes for leaving and being late. Monica hands me her poem. It's called Hole in the Wall, but it's different from the last one I read.
Oh.
It goes, "But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glance at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in the room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipate before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right here. He's right here, swallowing my fears. I brandish my pen. I'm like, "Cool, Monica. It's very freeform. And she goes, yeah, that style's gotten pretty popular nowadays.
Is that like a continuation of the last one?
Yeah, it's like a part 2, but not really a part 2. It's
Okay.
a requel.
A rebootquel?
Yeah. Whatever they said in Scream 6,
Right.
that shit. Monica says she had an epiphany recently and it's been influencing her poems a bit. She gives me Monica's writing tip of the day, and I move on to Yuri. Yuri says my poem is exceptional and she likes my use of metaphors. She shows me her poem, Ghost Under the Light, that first one, and I tell her, wow, your handwriting is really pretty and I really liked your poem. Now that we're done, Yuri and Natsuki read each other's poems, which didn't go great last time.
No, it did not.
Yuri calls Natsuki's poem cute, and Natsuki asks if she completely missed the symbolism or something.
Again?
They argue and both say that I liked their poems. Natsuki makes a comment about Yuri's boobs getting bigger after I joined, and then the scene starts to glitch. The edges around the screen gets black and fizzle, and the music speeds up to a fast pace. Natsuki straight up calls Yuri a bitch.
Whoa.
The screen in the center gets fuzzy and grainy. Natsuki accuses Yuri of being edgy and warns her not to cut herself on all that edge. Yuri is like, did you just accuse me of cutting myself?
A little bit, yeah.
Yuri says Natsuki's just trying to make her look bad, and Natsuki says, no, you started it. The screen glitches hard. The text box flies by, and I get the prompt, Natsuki or Yuri. I hit Yuri.
Obviously, you did.
The screen gets closer. Natsuki or Yuri. I hit Yuri again. This happens over and over and over again, with the box getting closer and closer, until the entire screen is just the prompt box. Natsuki or Yuri. Every single time I hit Yuri. Monica's face takes over the whole screen, and then she steps back. The music cuts out. Monica says, hey, Andrea, why don't we step outside for a bit? I'm almost glad she does this because the fight is claustrophobic this round, and Yuri and Natsuki are going at each other hard. Also, weird shit's happening in there. Let's go to a different scene. We're in the hallway, and Monica says, sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? Can't even confront my own club members. I wish I was more assertive, but I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, I understand. You can always spend more time with me. Natsuki runs out of the classroom into the hall. She is crying and running, and she just fucking bolts. Monica says, oh, I guess the fight's over. Inside, Yuri says, I didn't mean it, over and over again, and rocks back and forth at her desk with her palms to her forehead. She looks at me and says, I didn't mean it. I tell her I believe her, but I have no idea what happened or what she said.
What's the context?
Yeah. Yuri begs me not to hate her. She says there's something wrong with her today. Monica reassures Yuri it's fine. She says, I'm sure Natsuki will forget about it all by tomorrow, completely. Monica says the meeting is over and I can go home now. Yuri says she wants to stay and the game glitches out. Instead of seeing myself walk home, I'm at my notebook immediately writing a new poem. I have no memory of leaving the school or getting home. Very highway hypnosis. As I'm picking out words, one word ends up showing up and it's long and glitchy. I hit it and my screen goes white. And then I'm back in the classroom for literature club. The music is back on.
What is going on?
This is fucking horrifying when you're playing because you're like, you're so trained to be like, oh, glitch bad, but it keeps happening. You're like, glitch scary now.
Glitch normal, glitch bad, glitch horrifying.
Yeah, very much so. Yuri shows up, but she's glitching. Her body is cut into pieces, moving strangely on the screen. She welcomes me back. Then she snaps into place and pulls me into a corner. Natsuki is reading a manga, and Monica isn't here yet, so we're kind of basically alone. Yuri says, about yesterday, I really need to apologize. Something just came over me, and I wasn't acting mentally sound. I tell her I'm happy she was considerate and apologize for her actions. And I reassure her we're cool, and I don't think less of her. We all have hard days. Natsuki comes over and asks if we've seen Monica. We haven't, and Yuri is surprised Natsuki is so calm after their fight yesterday. Yuri apologizes to her about yesterday, but Natsuki has no idea what Yuri is talking about. She asks if something happened. It's like she's forgotten all about yesterday completely. In black text, Natsuki says, whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. I don't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? Which is just mean for the sake of being mean.
Oh, I thought it was a read.
Oh. You're like, nah, she's being a bad bitch. Yuri is stunned, but then in normal text, Natsuki says she accepts the apology to help Yuri feel better about it, which is also so fucking mean. Like, that's just in the normal
Okay,
text.
that
She's like,
was.
I take your apology if it'll help you sleep at night. Like, what the fuck is wrong? I'm being nice, you asshole. Ugh, she's such a bitch. Monica bursts in, apologizing for being late. She was playing piano in the study hall and got lost in the music. Yuri pulls me aside and asks to spend some time together in the club today. She wants to start making some tea, so Yuri goes outside to grab some water without me. 10 minutes go by and I wonder if she's okay, so I go out on the hall to look for her. I head down to a water fountain and I hear deep breathing down the hall. I come around a corner and see Yuri, arms sliced up wrist to elbow with fresh cuts and
Oh
slices.
my god.
The game glitches and the text rewinds and Yuri is back in the classroom, arms covered up by her jacket. She simply says, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Do you like oolong tea? Yuri makes tea and then asks me if we can sit on the floor because it's better for her back. We sit on the floor reading our book and drinking tea. I have some chocolates and I pop one into my mouth and then, because this is my only fucking move, I pop one into Yuri's mouth.
Oh, way to go, Slick.
She's surprised, but then the music stops. She forcefully grabs my arm and jerks me to my feet. It knocks my teacup over. She takes me into the corner and says, Andrea, my heart won't stop pounding. I can't calm down. I can't focus on anything anymore. Can you feel it? She takes my hand and presses it hard against her chest. Which is fine because she's 18 and I'm also over 18.
Just had to make that disclosure at the very beginning.
Yeah, want to keep that top of mind, everyone. The audio kicks in with a heart-pulsing, hard sound. She asks, why is this happening to me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I can't make it stop. It makes me not want to read. I just want to look at you. The screen is a dark shadow over Yuri's face, but her eyes still glare into mine. She giggles in the dark with me, then Monica bursts in saying, it's time to share poems!
Monica just keeps coming in with the crotch block.
I'm okay with it this time because she's being fucking weird. The audio cuts out. It cuts back in as I decide to show my poem to Natsuki first. Let's see what this little weirdo is up to. I need a bit of a breather from Yuri, and I don't know what the fuck's going on with Monica. I just don't want to talk to her right now.
So let's talk to the goblin.
It's goblin time. She reads my poem and says, I'm not stupid. I know you're trying to impress Yuri with your poems, and it's pathetic. She tells me to go away.
Quit the club.
Yeah, she just wants me to go. I love that about her. You know what? She's growing on me now that I'm reading it out loud. I go back to Yuri, who would never be this unkind to me, and she says today's poem is better than yesterday's. And she's embarrassed, but she shows me her poem. It's called Wheel. As it appears, the audio cuts out, which is new for when we're reading poems. A rotating wheel, turning an axle, grinding, bolt head, linear gearbox, falling sky, 7 holy stakes, a docked ship, a portal to another world, a thin rope tied to a thick rope, a torn harness, parabolic gearbox, expanding universe, time controlled by slipping cogwheels, existence of God, swimming with open water in all directions, drowning, a prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time-devouring snakes with human eyes, a thread connecting all living human eyes, a kaleidoscope of holy stakes, exponential gearbox, a sky of exploding stars, God disproving the existence of God, a wheel rotating in 6 dimensions, 40 gears on a ticking clock, a clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet, a clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks every second time, a bolt of holy stakes tied to the existence of a docked ship to another world, a kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks, a time-devouring prayer, connecting a sky of 40 gears and open human eyes in all directions, breathing gearbox, breathing bolthead, breathing ship, breathing portal, breathing snakes, breathing God, breathing blood, breathing holy stakes, breathing human eyes, breathing time, breathing prayer, breathing sky, breathing wheel.
She did that in one fucking take, everybody. Holy shit.
This isn't about me!
Wow. Way to go. That was impressive.
This is about Yuri being a weird bitch! But I'll take it.
Okay.
Yuri tells me it doesn't matter what it's about. Her mind has been hyperactive lately, so she had to take it out on my pen. She explains that a pen fell out of my bag yesterday, and she grabbed it, and she just really likes the way it writes. So she wrote this poem with my pen, which makes me feel like she's blaming this weird shit on me. She asked if we can pretend this conversation never happened, but says I can keep the poem. I don't like Yuri anymore.
Natsuki is growing on you,
Yeah.
and you no longer like Yuri.
I think I'd rather have someone be an asshole to me than whatever's happening here. I show my poem to Monica, and she starts by saying, I think you saw something earlier that you weren't supposed to see. I didn't want to have to tell you this, but I don't think I have a choice. It's getting kind of dangerous for you to spend so much time with Yuri. I don't know why, but she seems pretty easily excitable when she's around you, which shouldn't be a problem in itself, but when Yuri gets too excited, she finds a place to hide and starts cutting herself with a pocket knife.
Oh, what? That's a weird reaction to that.
Isn't that kind of messed up? She even brings a different one to school every day, like she has a collection or something. I mean, it's definitely not because she's depressed or anything like that.
No.
I think she just kind of gets some high from it. It might even be like, she looks around, a sexual thing.
Oh, I mean, that is a thing, but Yuri does not strike me as the person who would be that.
It's always the people you most and least expect, Dom. But the point is, you've kind of been enabling her. I'm not saying it's your fault, but if you keep your distance, that would probably be best for you.
You're just too hot.
Monica, I hear you, and I know I can't fix her.
Coming to grips with that now.
I think we're really becoming self-actualized in this moment. Monica ends by saying, hey, but you know what? You can spend more time with me. To put it lightly, I at least have it together in the head, and I know how to treat my club members.
Do you?
Monica's really like, hey, bitch, I'm not crazy. Do you want to hang out with me? Monica shows me a poem called Save Me. It's like the last one, but some of the words are capitalized. There's some words missing. It's a manic version of the Save Me poem from earlier. At the end, instead of the last line being load me, it says delete her.
Delete her? Which her?
I don't know. Monica doesn't really like any of these bitches.
No, she really doesn't.
A wave comes over the screen and she says, sorry, I know it's kind of abstract. She gets into Monica's writing tip of the day, but then asks, who am I talking to? Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything. A prompt box shows up saying, please help me, with a confirmation button saying, okay. I hit that, and Monica is back in herself, and she says, and that's my advice for today.
Oh my god, Monica's glitching now.
After that, I've unlocked another special poem. And again, these aren't from any of the girls. This is from the game. It's a long page, but all the text is redacted with the black bars over it, with only a few letters left uncovered. The message that isn't covered says, nothing's real. That shit was fucking haunting.
Nothing's real?
Nothing's real.
Of course not. This is some nihilism shit.
There's something about this that feels like an ARG. I feel like I'm finding clues and uncovering secrets.
Yeah, totally.
Like, there's something to this that feels like a digital escape room almost, but I fear that escape may not be feasible for me. I might just need to put the controller down. But again, my dumbass played this in one sitting. So, you know that didn't happen for me. Monica pulls everyone to the front of the room to talk about the festival. Monica takes the time to get everyone hyped on getting more members for the club, but Yuri and Natsuki are apprehensive. Natsuki starts complaining and the music cuts out. She says she doesn't want to do anything for the festival. I'm a pushover, and even though Monica is the president, she should really consider our opinions for once. Monica is pressed by this. The music cuts back in and she says, that's not true. I'm sure Yuri and Andrea want more members for the club. Yuri says nothing, and I start stammering. Then Monica says, the club is nothing more than a place for a few people to hang out. Why did I think that everyone here saw it the same way I did? But that doesn't mean we're against getting new members or anything. Andrea, why did you even join the club? I can't even answer before she says, if I remember, you weren't even given a choice not to join. And yeah, babe, that's the game.
It's kind of, yeah. It's a little meta there.
What do you think the game is, babe? Monica sits down, defeated. She asks, what's the point of all this anyway? Yuri says, okay, now you've done it, Natsuki. Natsuki is defensive and asks, oh, is it a crime to be honest? The text box saying, is it a crime to be honest? Pops up again and again and again and again. Is it a crime to be honest? Is it a crime to be honest?
In some countries.
Jesus Christ! Yuri breaks the cycle and says, it's not about being honest, it's about word choice. Natsuki says all she wanted was a place to hang out and read, and Monica's ruining it by making it bigger than it needs to be. She packs her bag and just straight up leaves. Yuri tells me, oh, this is bad. I don't know what to do. I ask her about the festival, but the screen goes black and only Yuri's face is on the screen with a glitch box over half her face. The text box is black and says, who cares about that obnoxious brat? Like, Yuri feels me on this, okay? It snaps back to the normal art and Yuri says, I mean, I like how nice and quiet the club is right now, and I'm just happy with you here. But I'm the vice president, and it's not right for me to ignore my responsibilities like that. The screen pops back to the black glitch face Yuri with black text saying, nobody would cry if she killed herself.
Oh my god.
Her eye pops with red squirting out of it.
Sorry, did you just say squirting out of it?
Yep, she's a squirter.
Ugh, gross.
Some games have a rapid power creep. Maybe you get a powerful weapon midway through the campaign. This game has rapid creepy creep. The horror ramps up so fucking fast after the first incident, and now we're just spiraling down the drain. And like I mentioned, I didn't know this was happening. And if I'm being so fucking for real, might not have played it. Because the Sayori scene was so fucking haunting, I kind of held the controller and got a little sweaty. It made me nervous. My heart rate came up a little bit, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm manually breathing because this is making me uncomfortable. And now we're just down the fucking drain with, like, creepy shit.
God.
This is a hard game. If you're still listening,
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for hanging out with us. I promise you, the Power Wash episode, way more of a feel-good game.
Wow. So this is still going, though.
Oh, yeah, we're still going. Back in the classroom, Yuri says, I should do my best to consider everyone's perspective and make the decision that's right for the club. She asks what I want out of the club. I tell her, the most important thing is for everyone to get along, one, and for the club to provide something that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's about how many members, but rather the quality of each member. That's what'll end up making the literature club a special place, which I actually stand by. I think that's actually...
That was the right answer.
Entirely. It feels insane that my character doesn't acknowledge the glitches, though. It's like myself, the character in here, and myself playing were the same and have been disconnected after Sayori died. What I'm experiencing as the player is not the same story I'm experiencing as the protagonist, which makes me feel extra crazy.
Oh, that is double layered. I love that.
There's some gaslighting to it, because your character's like, oh yeah, Yuri, whatever you want. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
What happened to Sayori?
Yuri says, okay, she hears me and she agrees, saying every member contributes their own qualities in a special way. Like, she's fucking Girl Scouting this now. She's like, yeah, we're all great now. Bitch, no one's great. This scene is in the classroom, and it's relatively normal music and art, but there is a bit of red that occasionally drips out of Yuri's eye while she's talking.
Again, drips and squirts. What is happening?
She's wet. She says, with each change in members, the identity of the club as a whole will change too. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. So if you'd like to help Monica with the festival, then I'm on your side as well. I'm like, that's great. Maybe we can talk to Natsuki tomorrow. And Yuri's like, yeah, let's get her tomorrow. Monica joins us now and tells Yuri, I know things were awkward yesterday, but I feel like you deserve to know that I still think you're a wonderful vice president and a wonderful friend. I want to do everything I can to make this the best club ever. Yuri smiles and holds her hands over her art. Monica's so fucking charming. She's like, oh my god, I got you. And Yuri's like, I'm fixed. Yuri tells Monica, you know what? Me too. Monica says, let's go home for the day. We'll talk about the festival tomorrow.
So Monica could fix her.
Yeah, if we hand this bitch off, it's not homie hopping if we're all, like, cool with it. You know what I mean?
It's group therapy.
Yeah! That's a way better version of than me calling it homie hopping. That's not what I meant at all. Yuri asks if I'm ready to go, but Monica asks that I hang back and talk to her for a bit, and then she sends Yuri off. I'm alone now with Monica, who says, oof, things have been hectic lately. I just want to make sure you're enjoying your time at the club. I would really hate to see you unhappy. The background becomes dark and grainy behind Monica. She says, I feel like I'm responsible for that as president, and I really do care about you, you know? It's quiet again. She tells me, I don't like seeing the other girls give you a hard time, you know, with how mean Natsuki is and everything, and Yuri being a little, you know, Sometimes it feels like you and I are the only real people here. You know what I mean? But it's weird because in all the time you've been here, we've hardly gotten to spend any time together. I mean, I guess it's technically only been a couple of days. Sorry, I didn't mean to say anything weird. There's just things I want to talk to you about that only you could understand. The screen begins to fade out to black, but Monica's text box continues, crying out for me to stop. No, wait, come back. Then I'm at my notebook writing a new poem for the club tomorrow.
Did you just disassociate and walk away from the conversation?
You just slowly back up. You're like, you know what? You bitches are too much. I wrote, what the fuck is this fucking game in my notes? And I edited this obviously, but I was like, nah, I think that stands. The next day at Literature Club, Yuri greets me. She says she's been waiting for me and she wants to continue reading with me, which is great. Natsuki is also here looking for Monica, but Monica's late again. She's probably playing piano. Yuri calls her inconsiderate and tells Natsuki to stop yelling. Monica's probably doing some shit. Calm down. Natsuki is annoyed and screams that she's not always yelling. Yuri walks it back a bit and she's like, you know what? I've been on edge lately. Monica comes in, sad that she's the last one in again. With everyone here, Yuri tells Natsuki she understands Natsuki being apprehensive about trying to get new club members. But if Natsuki helps with the festival, she'll buy her a new manga. Bribery is the sincerest form of flattery.
Plus, she gets new material.
There you go. Natsuki laughs, delighted at this, saying she was way more hostile than she meant to be because she felt threatened, and a new member wouldn't hurt, as long as they're a girl. Bitch. Which is obviously just aimed at me. She says she'll help out with the festival. Yay, we're all in. Monica says, oh, that's great, and asks me what I want to do today. Yuri tells Monica that we have plans to read together, and Monica looks surprised, but backs off. Yuri's just getting weirdly territorial, and Monica's like, you know what? Not my fight, not my problem. You deal with it. When it's just me and Yuri, Yuri tells me she has a request. She says she's going to make some tea first, though. She takes the pitcher out to get water and doesn't invite me with her. 10 minutes go by, and I wonder if she's okay, so I go out in the hall to look for her. I head down to a water fountain, and I hear deep breathing down the hall. I come around the corner to see Yuri, arms sliced up, wrist to elbow with fresh cuts.
Fuck, again?
The game screen goes black, and then Yuri glitches on the screen, her eyes all white, staring into my eyes. Then she's back in the hallway, sleeves down, and the music is off. She says, wait, how did I have weird deja vu. Has this happened before? My head has been a little fuzzy lately. I hope you don't think I'm weird. Everyone has a few unusual things about them. The screen is black and shakes a bit with Yuri in the center. She tells me, when I was younger, I would come on really strong and get a little too intense. I made people not want to be around me, so I started hating those things about myself. My obsession was certain hobbies, the way I can't control myself when I get too excited about something. So I eventually stopped trying to talk to people. If no one could ever like me for the things that matter most to me, then it's easier if I close myself off. But recently, something's been wrong. I don't know what it is, but every time we come to the club, my heart starts to go crazy, like it's going to rip out of my chest. It overwhelms me with energy and emotions that I can't let out. It's making me do weird things, Andrea. Like, has Monica been off lately? She's always been sweet, but recently I've been feeling something sharp whenever she's around. I'm not crazy, right? I couldn't say anything before because she's always listening. Yuri's eyes are wide now, like she's scared. Her energy has evolved from this timid, sweet girl to rabid and manic. She smiles and says, but now that we're alone, can we just stay here for a while? Her heart starts beating hard in the audio, and the screen pulses with each beat. She says, I just want to stay here, just the two of us. We can stay here until the club ends, and then we'll have the club room all to ourselves. Nobody to interfere with our reading time. Nobody to make me feel like stabbing myself in the throat.
Whoa. Whoa.
That was just a joke. I do love knives, though.
Oh, God. We thought it was so cool that she liked knives. It is no longer cool how much she loves knives.
Girl, it is. You know, she said she has weird hobbies. Maybe a pillow. Maybe something soft. Has she considered squishmallows?
Deep throating a finger that's bleeding.
I wouldn't consider that a hobby. I don't think that's a recurring thing.
Yet.
Oh, God. She invites me over to her house to see her knife collection.
Here we go.
As if appearing like a ghost, a translucent outline of Monica appears behind Yuri.
Why? Where did she fucking come from?
What were you saying about ghosts? Yuri talks about knives and where she got them, and the image of Monica becomes more and more in focus, like it's passing through Yuri to get to the forefront of the screen. The image beats along with a palpitating heart. Yuri tells me she's so happy I joined and tells me, you know what, we should quit the club and just be together. There's no reason for us to be around Monica's slimy tongue anymore. The image of Monica becomes less opaque and appears on top of Yuri, becoming full and fleshed out. Yuri says we can walk home together. We don't have to be around the pathetic child Natsuki. I hate her. We can read together, eat together, sleep together. Doesn't that sound perfect? It's everything you could ever want. Monica is fully visible, layered over Yuri, unmoving as Yuri blinks and her heart beats hard. Yuri's text becomes scrambled, and we flip back into the classroom, and I decide who to read my poem to first.
I'm sorry. It went from like this whole like I'm sorry, John imagery. You know that like fucked up Garfield shit on the internet.
Oh God.
And then it's like, now, who would you like to read your poem?
Time to read poetry. The girls don't even acknowledge each other, but they all just stand staring into me. I need a fucking break from this, so I'm gonna go with the pathetic child and talk to Natsuki for a minute.
Hell yeah.
She tells me she refuses to read my poem. And you know what? I think I need that. But she says I have to read hers. She slips me a sheet of paper that reads, I don't know how else to bring this up, but there's something I've been worried about. Yuri's been acting kind of strange lately. You've only been here a few days, so you may not know what I mean, but she's not normally like this. She's always been quiet and polite and attentive. Things like that. Okay. This is really embarrassing, but I'm forcing myself to suck it up. The truth is, I'm really worried about her. But if I try talking to her, she'll just get mad at me again. I don't know what to do. I think you're the only person she'll listen to. I don't know why, but please try to do something. Maybe you can convince her to talk to a therapist? I've always wanted to try being better friends with Yuri, and it really hurts me to see this happening. I know I'm going to hate myself later for admitting that, but right now I don't care. I just feel so helpless. So please see if you can do something to help. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I'll make you cupcakes if I have to. Just please try to do something. As for Monica, I don't know why, but she's been really dismissive about this. It's like she wants us to ignore it. So I'm just mad at her right now. That's why I'm coming to you about this. Don't let her know I wrote this. Just pretend like I gave you a really good poem, okay? I'm counting on you. Thanks for reading.
Oh my gosh.
Like, slipped me a secret note.
Fully, but it shows she's a good person inside.
Shut up. Fine, you picked the better girl. You win, motherfucker. Are you happy? But like, I hate this. You're right. Clip that. Listen to it when you're sad. No, you are right, because she is like, yo, this is not okay.
The hardest exteriors hide the softest centers, I have always found.
Life is not Tootsie Pops, bitch. Her screen glitches and her face is erased. Her text box is black and says, I changed my mind. Ignore everything you just read. There's no point in trying to do anything. It's Yuri's own fault. She's so unlikable. Can you hear me, Andrea? If you would just spend more time with Monica, all these problems would go away. Yuri and I are too messed up for someone as wonderful as you. Just think of Monica from now on. Just Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. A text box prompt comes up saying, just Monica. I hit OK, and the opening credits of the game start again.
Oh my god.
We see the studio logos. Then we're back in the classroom. I fucking hate being told what to do, so I decide to show my poem to Yuri next, because fuck you, Monica. Yuri reads my poem, and she says she loves it and wants to take it home. I tell her, yeah, I don't care.
Now Monica can't read it.
There you go. And Yuri says, I'm so nice, she could just die.
I'm like, what?
Which is a lot for me being like, yeah, you can keep my bullshit poem I don't care about. She says she'll take it home and treasure it. In black text, she says, I'll even touch myself while reading it over and over. I'll give myself paper cuts so your skin oil enters my bloodstream.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That went to a weird place.
I do not think that's funny, Yuri. I miss Natsuki now, and I never thought I'd say that. I'm uncomfy. Yuri says I can have her poem, too. She hands it to me, and it's a sheet with blood all over it with absolute gibberish.
Oh, dear Lord.
I put it down, and her face is very close to mine, like a little jump scare moment. She asks, do you like it? I wrote it for you. Her text glitches out. Then she says, more importantly, I've endowed it with my scent. See? Aren't I the most thoughtful person in the club?
My scent.
She glitches and then snaps back to her normal form. She runs out of the room and says, I think I'm going to vomit.
You know, we have attacked a lot of incels on this show. It is time we went after the femcells. Holy shit.
Is this your justice moment? What?
But yeah, this is some femcel shit right here.
Yeah, hardcore.
Oh, wow.
Begrudgingly, I show my poem to Monica now, who I'm a little afraid of. I feel like she's just gonna yell at me or maybe get me in trouble. I don't know. I don't know how to approach this bitch. I feel weird about it. She comes on screen and says, "Don't say I didn't warn you, Andrea." She goes away, and the screen is white except for a prompt box that says yes or no.
No.
I hate yes. What the Oh, man. You and I would have played this game very differently. Damn it. So after I hit yes, I'm shown a secret poem.
Oh.
It reads, "Today I cut my skin open for the first time. It was exhilarating. I think I understand how feels now.
What?
I'm supposed to be the responsible one, though, so I don't think I'll be doing it again, unless I decide to kill myself. I left a memento for the occasion below." At the end of the poem, there's just a big smear of blood.
Oh, fucking hell.
We're back in the club room, and Monica announces that it's time to figure out the festival preparations.
There's nobody left.
Monica will make pamphlets, Natsuki will make cupcakes, and Yuri will do decor. Monica decides that I'll help her, but Natsuki cusses her out, which, yeah, no, you picked the better girl. I feel you. She's like, "Fuck you, bitch," and says Monica's abusing her power and that I should get to decide what I want to do. Okay, ride or die. All three names appear: Yuri, Natsuki, Monica, but as I highlight each name, it turns to Monica.
Fuck.
In the PC version, your mouse starts to just drift towards Monica's box.
Every time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
And it's a fucking trip. And again, I played this on PlayStation, so I didn't get the drift, but I did get the flipping, which is crazy.
Oh.
And it's honestly freaking me out at this point. I did just put a bunch of exclamation points in my notes of like, scary. Ah!
If you were playing on Switch with a Joy-Con, you would have gotten natural drift.
Yeah, it wouldn't have hit on the Switch. I try to hit Yuri, but I get a screen that's just Monica's name over and over and over again. Just Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. I finally pick her and she says, "Yay, you picked me!"
No, not Monica.
She says she'll be at my house on Sunday, and Natsuki says, "This isn't fucking fair." Yuri screams at Monica and asks, "Have you ever considered killing yourself?"
Oh my god, that's an extreme reaction.
Yuri tells Monica that the act would be beneficial to her mental health. Natsuki is like, "Oh, no." She's like, "Yuri, you're scaring me. How is Natsuki the most balanced bitch in this group?"
She always was.
Ah. Monica tells Natsuki that, "Hey, we should get out of here." Yuri ushers Monica and Natsuki out the door. She's like, "Yeah, bitch, bye." On the way, Monica asks me, "Hey, Yuri really is something, isn't she?" Which is a weird, fucked up thing to yell while you're getting kicked out of a room.
Fully.
Yuri's got them all out. With me and Yuri alone in the club room, Yuri says, "Ugh, finally, this is all I wanted. There's no need to spend the weekend with Monica. Don't listen to her. Just come to my house instead. The whole day, just the two of us. There's something really wrong with me, but I don't care. I've never felt this good my whole life.
Oh god, girl, you are so fucked up right now.
Just being with you is a far greater pleasure than anything I could imagine. I'm addicted to you. It feels like I'm gonna die if I'm not breathing the same air as you. Doesn't it feel nice to have someone care about you so much? To have someone who wants to revolve their entire life around you? But if it feels so good, then why does it feel more and more like something horrible is gonna happen? Andrea, I have to tell you, I'm madly in love with you. I don't care what the consequences are anymore. I don't care if Monica's listening. Just know how much I love you. I just want to pull your skin open and crawl inside of you.
No. See, you went the wrong direction by saying that.
Do you accept my confession?
No.
Look, Tom, I can fix her.
No, you can't. Her idea of fixing you is peeling you open and crawling inside. You can't fix that.
I can walk her back.
Oh my god.
I can take her to therapy. We can start Les Shadow notebook, and we can write down all our sadness, and we can, I don't know, make a chart.
This is far beyond your scope of help.
I might be able to fix her. I did write this down in the moment. I was like, you know what? Shit's crazy, but maybe I can. I know we're nosediving, but I can pull up, okay? I say, yes, I accept your confession. She laughs and she's joyous, and then she takes out a knife
Oh.
and stabs herself twice in the stomach and once in the heart.
Jesus. How do you get to the heart after twice in the stomach?
The screen goes black and Yuri's body lays on the ground, bleeding out. Her long dark hair is draped across a chair. Her text is black and scrambled. There's pages of dialogue, but it's all illegible. Her last words complete gibberish as she bleeds out. Her eyelids stay open and her eyes are locked on me as she transitions from friend to corpse.
Oh.
She stares into my eyes. The lights go down and come back up. Friday night passes. Yuri's eyes begin to rot, and the color leaves her irises and they become milky white. Her body begins to break down as Saturday passes. The gibberish text boxes roll through. Sunday passes. There are 1,400 text boxes to click through as I make my way through these 3 days spent with Yuri's decaying corpse in the classroom.
Literally 1,400?
It's over 1,400. I think it's like 1,440 or something like that.
Holy shit. And you have to click through all of them?
Yes.
Wow.
There is an auto skip function, which I did turn on and like change the text speed to speed this shit up, but it takes a long time. It is an uncomfortable. I think the fastest you can go through it is like 7 or 8 minutes.
Wow.
It is a very long sequence. And as the lights come on and off to show that time is passing, her eyes get milky, her skin gets light. The blood that's pooled on the floor goes from bright to dark as it congeals under, like, as it gets oxidized. It is disgusting to watch this body decompose.
What an incredible way to keep the gamer involved through this section.
I wanted to fucking throw up. It was,
I can imagine.
It was horrible. I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I could be rewatching something silly.
You are clicking through the time lapse of watching something decay.
Yeah. What the fuck? All I did for 3 in-game days was watch as she looked into me, still staring even though she was gone. I sat in that classroom for 3 days with the dead body of the girl who loved me.
You should have left.
In the end, I couldn't fix her. On Monday morning when we're found, it's by Natsuki. She comes into the classroom and screams. Yuri's dried blood is everywhere, and I am clearly catatonic. She throws up in her hands and just sprints out of the room.
Just right into her hands.
She's like, nope, bleh, out of here. Monica appears announcing, I'm here. She asks me, wait, did something happen?
Ugh.
Bitch, you can smell this, right? She looks down and sees Yuri. She laughs and says, oh, well, that's a shame. Wait, were you here the whole weekend? Oh, geez, I didn't realize the script was broken that badly. I'm super sorry. It must have been pretty boring. I'll make it up to you. Just give me 1 sec.
Fucking Monica. I have not trusted her for a long time. I haven't said it yet, but oh, fuck Monica.
In the corner of the screen, there is a code that says Natsuki.chr deleted successfully.
What?
Yuri.chr deleted successfully.
Nope.
Monica picks up a cupcake and eats it. She says, oh, these are the best. I had to have one since it's the last time, I'll ever get the chance to, before they stop existing and everything.
What the fuck did she do to Natsuki?
File deleted.
I'm angry about it. Her cupcake should go with her then.
You're like, the inventory should be deleted along with the character.
Exactly.
These are separate entities in the game file. Monica says, but anyway, I shouldn't be making you wait any longer. Just bear with me. This will only take a second. The opening logos show up.
Not a fucking again.
Glitched and fucked up, though. The music is eerie and atmospheric, sounding staticky and echoey. I pressed a bunch of buttons because I don't know what to do, and I made it to the loading screen. But instead of the girls on the homepage, there's a text bar of my dialogue with Monica. Her saying, oh, well, that's a shame. Wait, were you in here the entire weekend? Oh, geez, I didn't realize the script was broken that badly. I'm super sorry. It must have been pretty boring. I'll make it up to you. Just give me a sec. You don't look okay.
What is happening?
I just happened to look over at you and you are upset. Your eyes are wide. You don't look happy.
We just went through the same thing twice. This is crazy.
This was requested by fans.
Heavily requested.
And I think that was a prank on me.
Why was I so excited for this episode? Holy shit.
Why was I so excited about this episode? I'm sad. The dialogue catches up to her saying, but anyway, I shouldn't make you wait any longer. Just bear with me. This will only take a sec. New dialogue appears. She says, I guess we can just skip over all that stuff at this point. After all, I'm not even talking to that person anymore, am I? That you in the game, whatever you want to call him. I'm talking to you, Andrea. Or do you actually go by something else? And then she calls me my PlayStation gamer tag.
Stop.
I wanted to crawl out of my fucking skin, Tom.
Oh, God, that's another Earthbound moment. And I'm so fucking happy.
It's the most menacing shit to read on a text box.
I am so glad you got to experience that for yourself because,
Hooker,
yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, my God, that is an incredible feeling. And
No, it's not.
Well, it elicited a reaction.
Yeah, I felt bad.
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
It gave me heartburn, Tom. She says, now that I think about it, I don't even really know anything about the real you. In fact, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wait, you do know I'm aware that this is all a game, right?
Oh, my God.
Could it be possible you didn't know that?
Bitch is self-aware.
I just wrote in all caps, bitch, what? I think I'm really glad I did approach this episode as like a diary entry of like what I'm experiencing, because having to recap and be like, at what point did I really melt down? Would not be like a fun thought journey for me. So it's nice to be like, oh, okay, no, I got this.
The whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know what to do as the gamer. I'm holding my PlayStation controller. I'm crouched and like scared. I'm on the edge of the couch. The cat's running over me going, meow, 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 and I'm like, Mabel, leave me alone. I'm crying. You're not texting me back because you're at work. And I get that. That's reasonable. I respect that. But I'm like, I'm so alone right now. And I think the game is trying to kill me. I go into settings. I go into save files. I scramble through the homepage until I finally go to exit Doki Doki Literature Club. And I pause on it because I'm like, is this real?
Is this real? You had to question this.
I had to question, will this actually close out the game and put me on the PlayStation homepage? Or is this the natural next step? Because it could go either way. And that made me feel fucking crazy. I hit exit Doki Doki Literature Club and it goes to a boot up screen.
Boot up screen? That's not what happens when you close a game on PlayStation.
No, it's not. But this was originally made for PC. I log in and I see a computer desktop and it fills our TV screen, which is, 65 inches?
What?
Feels crazy to look at. I imagine on the original PC version, this is the most horrifying shit imaginable. I go into the files because I don't know what to fucking do. There's not like Minesweeper on here, although that would be fucking hilarious if they did. Just throw Minesweeper up on here. And there's a folder called Characters. Only one character file is in here, and it says monica.chr. I grant her wish from her last poem and delete her. I play some music from the files because, frankly, the woman was too stunned to speak, and I don't really know what to do from this point. I poke around, and there's not a lot here, just some empty numbered files and some image assets. After catching my breath and, maybe taking some substances because I'm just honestly like, I've had a full day of work. I
don't
come
blame
home
you.
to relax and this shit is happening? Are you fucking kidding me?
This is insanity.
I go back to the file marked Doki Doki Literature Club on the desktop, which again, feels crazy to say. The screen is black, the music is off, and there's a text box from Monica. She glitches. The whole world glitches. I'm in an empty room with outer space swirling through the windows.
The fuck?
It's dark with stars shimmering and galaxies swirling. I see a form that looks like Monica in front of me, but she's distorted. And the text name is all gibberish. Then the text snaps into sentience and she says, Andrea, what's happening to me? It hurts. It hurts so much. Help me, Andrea. The room disappears and I'm floating in space. The text box begs, please hurry and help me. Help me. A line of code in the corner shows Monica.chr does not exist.
Yeah, you deleted it.
The whole scene fizzles and a code notification keeps appearing saying Monica.chr does not exist. The text box asks, did you do this to me, Andrea? Did you? Did you delete me? The screen is black again and she asks, how could you? You were all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much, Andrea. I trusted you. Did you just want to torture me? Were you only pretending to be kind to hurt me? You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I hope you're happy. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. An achievement called Ruin Everything.
Oh my God.
Pops up in the corner of my screen. And I honestly laughed at that because I was like, I'm exhausted. I don't know if this is a good one or a bad one. I don't know if that's sarcastic or not. I can't even tell tone anymore because no one is voiced in this.
Yeah, trying to find their intention through text is, oh, that's a dangerous game to play sometimes.
This is a dangerous game to play sometimes.
Oh.
A text box says, Andrea, you completely, truly make me sick. Goodbye. The screen goes black. I sit here on the couch, stunned, my bones hurt, my jaw aches from being on the fucking floor. This game feels like a migraine without the pain, but just the swirls of delirium. What the fuck is this game? Dan Salvato, are you okay?
Clearly not.
Then after a while, the text box returns saying, I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? I did so many awful things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that I don't even belong in. A world you wanted to be a part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me, because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How could I do that to someone I love? Andrea, I know I said I deleted everyone else, but that was an exaggeration. I couldn't find myself to do it, even though I know they weren't real. They were still my friends, and I loved them all, and I loved the literature club. I really did. I'm gonna do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then... Gibberish appears on the screen, finishing her last thoughts. Then the screen is black. Then the logo comes on, and we're back to the main menu.
No.
3 girls are shown on the homepage. Sayori, Yuri, and Natsuki. Monica is gone. I don't fucking know what to do. I don't know if this is real or not. And it makes me feel crazy. I'm like, well, I don't know if this is the end of the game. Like, that's the thing. I hit new game because I'm looking at this and I can't tell if it's a fucking bit or not. Maybe it's just going over my head. Maybe I missed some pieces here and there. Maybe I'm just so tired and delirious. I'm freaking out. And I honestly don't know if this is the end of the game to get to where Monica has driven all the other girls crazy and deleted them from the game and then given up and accepted that she was deleted, or if this is part of the loop and we're still going. I don't know what to do.
So what'd you do?
I started a new game. I don't fucking know. The new game file starts as normal and I see Sayori, who asks if I'm proud of her. I ask, for what? Being here? And she says, oh, for waking up on time.
Oh.
I tell her she's been doing that for a while, but she says, you never said anything about it, even though we walk to school together every day. She begs for approval, and I tell her I'm proud of her. She asks if I'm joining a club, and I tell her I am, but it's a surprise. This also feels fucked for the protagonist, diverting from the player's experience in the game.
Yeah.
In-game, as the protagonist, this is Sayori, my oldest friend who I walk to school with every day. She's bubbly and dumb and we're close, and as the player, I saw this girl's depression claim her life, and then I think I had to defeat her high school homie or some shit to bring her back. I don't really know how we got here, but Sayori's happy and that's cool. The school day ends and I walk over to a club room and I see Sayori, who's surprised to see me. Natsuki and Yuri are also there. Natsuki asks Sayori if I'm who she's been talking about nonstop. Yuri welcomes me to Literature Club. I tell Sayori I'm joining the Literature Club, and she screams in delight. She hugs me and she says, we have to celebrate. Natsuki has cupcakes and we all sit around and enjoy them. Yuri brings out some tea. We all talk about what we like to read. Natsuki and I both like manga. Yuri likes fantasy and horror, and Sayori is just happy to be around people.
She's just a fucking golden retriever now.
Fully. Yuri and Natsuki resolve to go to a bookstore together, and Sayori stays back to talk to me. She says, oh, I'm really happy you joined the club, but the truth is, I already knew you were going to. Also, there's something else. Sayori looks at me and she says, I wanted to thank you for getting rid of Monica.
Whoa.
That's right. I know everything she did. The screen goes dark and pulses like Yuri's beating heart. Sayori says, maybe it's because I'm the president now, but I really know everything, Andrea.
What the fuck?
I know how hard you tried to make everyone happy. I know about all the awful things that Monica did to make everyone really sad. But none of that matters anymore. It's just us now. And you made me the happiest girl in the world. I can't wait to spend every day like this. With you. Just Sayori. Just Sayori. Just Sayori.
A new monster arises.
The screen glitches back to the room where Monica was deleted. The room with the window to outer space. It's me and Sayori says, forever and ever. Sayori glitches, and a pop-up text box stops the scene that says, I won't let you hurt him. I hit, okay. Sayori says, "Ah, it hurts!" She's in pain. Something is happening inside the game. I can't see, I can't feel, but I can tell Sayori is in trouble here. A pop-up text box comes back saying, "I'm sorry, I was wrong." I click OK, and another appears saying, "There's no happiness here after all." The text box goes through a couple pieces. One says, "Goodbye, Sayori," and then, "Goodbye, Andrea," and finally, "Goodbye, Literature Club." The screen glitches and goes black with static over it. For the first time, an actual voice comes over.
Oh.
It says, "Hi, it's me. You know how I've been practicing piano and stuff? I'm not good at it at all, but I wrote you a song and I was hoping I could show it to you because I worked really hard on it." Monica herself, voiced and from inside the game files, sings a song to me.
Jesus.
Her last poem, her last piece of art to offer me, rings out over the ending credits.
What the fuck?
I'll read these as a poem, though, you don't want to hear me sing anymore. Every day, I imagine a future where I can be with you. In my hand is a pen that will write a poem of me and you. The ink flows down into a dark puddle. Just move your hand, right the way into his heart. But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day? Have I found everyone a fun assignment to do today? When you're here, everything that we do is fun for them anyway. When I can't even read my own feelings, what good are words when a smile says it all? If this world won't write me an ending, what will it take just for me to have it all? Does my pen only write bitter words for those who are dear to me? Is it love if I take you, or is it love if I set you free? The ink flows down into a dark puddle. How can I write love into reality? If I can't hear the sound of your heartbeat, what do you call love in your reality? And in your reality, if I don't know how to love you, I'll leave you be. Jesus Christ, Monica!
Monica, you're too fucking much.
The credits roll with images of the game, like little pictures showing up, and as the pictures come up between the end credits, the code box deletes them and the images disappear, showing image not found where they once were.
Fuck off.
It's fucking horrifying because you're like, okay, this is truly the ending. I'm like, okay, this is truly the ending. I'm like half in tears, half just chugging water because I'm probably dehydrated from stress. And this is just happening. Monica's real voice is performed by an actual performer. Her name is Jillian Ashcraft. I didn't think, that's not the voice I assigned to Monica in my head, but it was really cool to hear what the game creators had in mind for her.
Totally.
At the end of the credits, which again is pretty short because it's mostly Dan Salvato, so there's not a lot of people to call out. There's one last note, and the game truly ends with a letter directly from Monica. And it reads, "This is my final goodbye to the Literature Club. I finally understand. The Literature Club is truly a place where no happiness can be found. To the very end, it continued to expose innocent minds to a horrific reality, a reality that our world is not designed to comprehend. I can't let any of my friends undergo that same hellish epiphany. For the time it lasted, I want to thank you for making all of my dreams come true, for being a friend to all of the club members, and most of all, thank you for being a part of my literature club. With everlasting love, Monica." The game prompts you back to the desktop computer, saying the file is fucked and you have to run a hard reset to play Doki Doki Literature Club.
You have to reinstall the game?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I'm exhausted.
I've never heard of this mechanic in a game before.
And that was the wildest fuck ride. That is Doki Doki Literature Club.
Are you all right?
No, bitch! I'm not okay. First of all, I found out if I'm a boy, I'm toxic as fuck.
Right, you really are.
Second of all, everything else. I had to relive a childhood trauma in the middle of this video game about writing poems. I had to kind of relive our story about how when we first met, we were assigned to write poems to each other.
Oh, totally.
Which is an insane kind of duality in a video game.
I'm not gonna lie, there were some flirtations that occurred in there that really reminded me of flirtations I had in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, like fully, like setting up the float for like homecoming and shit like that, and wanting to work with the cute girl and shit like that. So like,
I love that.
Absolutely, there's little things like that that fully resonated with me, where I'm just like, ooh, I'm not comfortable with how I'm feeling here, you
because
know?
it feels real.
It feels very real. That was remarkable. Honestly, it feels like obviously the kids in literature club love drama.
didn't even think about that. Can you imagine if this was Doki Doki Theater Club?
Oh
like,
my god.
how much hornier and crazier it would be. What a fucking nightmare.
And like, was all of this just like each of these girls just latched onto one guy, like, let's all write fan fiction about this dude?
You.
Yeah, it was just like they all latched onto this one person to like all just write the weirdest shit they possibly could.
And like, how cute could you possibly be? Let's be
Right.
so fucking for real.
Everybody is so hard up on the main character.
But like, we all know like the dumbass who's just like, I'm having a great time. Who knows? Secretly, majorly depressed. You know, like
fully.
the smile hides the sadness. We all know kind of a Monica who's effortless and everyone loves her. And like, when she wants something, it can be difficult when she has to realize she might have to share that attention. And fucking Yuri.
Oh my god, Yuri is just that poor girl.
Yeah.
She had a lot going on.
She had a lot going on. Yeah.
And then my favorite.
The mean girl. Which I kind of get now that we've kind of gone through the story, but man, fuck me. I don't want to talk for 3 hours. I want to sleep. I was going to say I want tea, but I'm going to think about Yuri if I have tea. I want ice cream. I want some comfort. I need aftercare.
You know, honestly, this whole episode was worth it to hear you say, I was right.
What the fuck, Tom?
Well, anyways, Goombas, if you enjoyed that, please make sure that you like us, that you subscribe to us.
And you go to therapy if you liked that.
You can check out our website, theothercastlepodcast.com.
That's theothercastlepodcast.com.
Over there, we have links to our Instagram, to our Discord, as well as our Patreon. And speaking of Patreon, it's time for the producer's call-out.
Ooh, these are our friends.
So, starting with
Natalie, Nerese, Rochelle, Sailor Gaming, Hell Knight 1,
Charlie, Ethan, Matt, Whiskey Pro, Brenna,
Mabel, Zane, Chucky Right On, Patrick, So Thana Toasted,
Mike, Anthony, Conrado, Unga Bunga, Sneaky Walrus, Owen,
Luigi, X of Triforce, Anderson, Steve, Adam,
Janik, Nick, Jake, Renee,
Katrina, Rain, Cafford, Roman, Big Winter Hat, Joshua,
Anne-Marie, Lil Brimstone, Landon, Honorbon, Anna Versed, Zan, Alex, who listens with her son, Henry.
hopefully not this episode,
Oh god, I hope not. Sorry, Henry.
Jitsu, Mozart, Tamia, Hippity Hoppity Cthulhu on your property,
Ian, Danny Boy, Zira, There Once Was Us, Big Cat PDX,
Chase, Alfredo, Mikolash, Taramek, Amber, Berserk Panda,
QM 1993, Damien, AJ Porting to the Bridges, Tretton,
Omar, Aaron, Unuseful, Molly,
Krisha, Molly Mock, Jackie, Jacob, Ellen, Steamed Hams from Albany.
Thank you. We love you. I appreciate you. And if you got this far, I'm sorry. But if you do want to keep the conversation rolling, if you want to talk about your experiences with the game, we actually have a place for that. We have our Discord that's linked on our website, theothercastlepodcast.com,
Once again, that's theothercastlepodcast.com.
as well as in the show notes of wherever you're listening to this.
Yes, and on our Discord, we will keep talking about this because apparently there are fan theories galore. We can go into great depth about it.
Do I have to?
You don't have to. They can.
Let me rest.
As always, this is Tom and Andrea reminding you,
Oh, fuck. I didn't even bring up Project Libitina.
and don't skip the cutscenes.
Maybe skip some cutscenes.
Bye!